We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Run stuff.
Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We are live for another Ordinal hour. We got so much to talk about today. Not really much going on in the price action. Bitcoin's down a little bit, but that's not stopping the amount of buying and stuff by BlackRock and a lot of these other, ETF buyers, right? So we got called psychopaths today. We're going to get into that. But we called it crypto users psychopaths. The NASDAQ seeking to do calls and puts on Bitcoin. So that's pretty cool. We got a lot of other stuff to talk about. Fractal Bitcoin. We're going to get into that. If you missed it yesterday, I was on Francis' show. I had a great time with Francis. So that was fun. We kind of broke down Fractal Bitcoin, but kind of want to do the same thing with Yagobi today because I think the opinions are really cool. Kind of see them back and forth. So I can't wait to get into that. And then Stacks Nakamoto upgrade in 2 days. We're going to talk about that. Mr. Yen, the Twitter account did something pretty cool. There over 100 videos. We're kind of hit on that really quickly. And obviously today is Tap Tuesday. So the first hour of the show is going to be, our normal stuff, the Ordinal hour. Second part of the show will be Tap Tuesday. So if you're trying to get more knowledge on builders and the Tap ecosystem, then that is what you're going to watch. So it's going to be a fun, exciting show. So much to get into. So let's get things started right now. I'm bringing my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
What's up, dude? How are you today? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, Bitcoin's obviously bleeding, so it's not fun when that's happening. But I feel like I always get really bullish whenever we interview a new builder or join a new chat on, introduced to a new builder and stuff like that. And that's happened a lot recently. So I'm bullish about that. And I think that this Bitcoin price action is just, pendulum swinging back to kind of the shorts, but we'll get it back. Don't worry, guys. And I think it's going to be shorter than you think.
Yeah, man. So we added the new logo to our Web3 partners. We've added Foxy. Foxy is a game being built in the Tapped ecosystem, and they've been building for a long time. So we recently came into agreement, and we brought them on as partners. And what we do for them is, obviously we're going to showcase them on our screen here, but we're going to be helping them. We're going to be, being advisors for them, and if they need us for different things, doing tutorial videos and stuff like that. So I just want to keep you guys updated on our partners. We do have a new one. If the screen looks a little different, it's because it does. So we're definitely proud to have Foxy on board, and we're talking to them later. Are they on Tap Tuesday?
Yes, they are. They are. We're gonna have them go last because they got some stuff they got to take care of, but they're gonna be joining us for sure.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Get into a few things. I want to get into one thing first that's kind of like not normal Bitcoin ecosystem stuff, but I think it was pretty cool. So X, they're going to be launching their own version of YouTube. It's going to be a separate site, but you're going to be logging in with your X address and stuff like that. It's going to look very similar to this right here. I can't wait for it. We've been going live on X for a long time now, and this is pretty cool because yesterday, one of our friends, the Investing Bros, actually got their channel taken down for talking politics, right? You get censored in YouTube pretty quickly. I've gotten emails stating that we can't really talk about anything with the election or anything like that. So we're kind of staying away from that. But having YouTube do something, I mean, having Twitter create their own version of YouTube is actually really, really amazing.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Obviously, we're going to follow the rules of YouTube. That they control that kind of thing. It's very centralized, but that's okay. It is what it is. But I think this is just good in general for the entire space, right? I can't wait. Competition is good. It's a good thing. So I can't wait to really dive into that once it's available to the public.
100%. Kind of getting some news here. BlackRock just purchased 4,000 of their own spot BTC ETF. So not only are people buying this ETF, but BlackRock's buying their own ETF, which is pretty crazy. So they're putting it in basically on the books. BlackRock owns a crap load of Bitcoin now.
Yeah, I mean, I love this. It's funny they're buying from their own ETF though, but you have to let the public know whenever you add assets to your books for the company and stuff. So this is really, really bullish. I was talking to you pre-show about how I'm sure that BlackRock's like really just has this robust plan on how they're gonna be successful in this industry. It's newer for them, right? Going full all in. But this is big, and that like we always talk about almost every day, we're gonna see more and more medium-sized companies do this. BlackRock's obviously huge. I'm just saying that a medium-sized company can look at this and say, hey, this is a way for us to kind of have security, get ahead. And 5 years ago, you probably never find a CEO say that.
That's true, 100%. And like with the buying it from their own ETF, I mean they pay no fees, right? Because they pay the fees themselves. So that's definitely an advantage they have over other people, where when they buy and sell, there's no fees for them. So that's actually really smart. Moving along here, you got called a psychopath today, Yagobi, by a man named Steve Hank. He said research finds crypto owners equal psychopaths. University researchers found that crypto holders display lower levels of analytic and scientific thinking, and are likelier to exhibit psychopathy. So it's pretty nuts. He's calling us crazy. This guy, he's big. He has 750,000 followers on X, so he's not a small account whatsoever. And he put this out, and he doesn't really talk crypto too often. What do you think about this?
I mean, you've seen the Twitter timeline and crypto Twitter. Are there psychopaths out there? I don't think they're the psychopaths like these crazy killer movies and stuff. It's more of degens, right? Degen probably equals psycho in some way. We all like to put risk out there for the greater reward, but also like to be in innovative sectors, right? In industry. So I think that makes some sense, actually.
Yeah.
I thought it was a personal attack on me. I was like, what? Who's coming after me?
I took it personal. I was like, this is bullshit. And I'm just like, but look how old this guy is. He only got like 10 years left, so it doesn't really matter his opinion.
He's still writing letters.
We'll keep it moving here. NASDAQ is seeking SEC approval for Bitcoin index options. That's from Reuters. NASDAQ wants to introduce a financial product that allows investors to trade options contracts that give the right, but not the obligation, to buy or sell an asset at a predetermined price. It's put in a call, right? So you can't do that right now with the ETF, but in a with an index options play, you can do that. So pretty crazy. They want to long and short it, basically using NASDAQ.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be really interesting, right? Because I don't know if you've ever played with options, but I have, and they can be really, really fun. because you're able to set a specific date range of when you can close your option and profit or loss, or you just lose it if you don't do anything by that past that date. And we don't have that in DeFi that I know of. I know that there's been some projects that have tried to, build this. I haven't heard of anything yet, but imagine doing that for Bitcoin. I think where it probably doesn't make sense is that 4-year cycle for some of these platforms that want to offer options, because like you technically just try to get an option call, within a year and a half of like right when halving happens, right, to post halving, and it's almost every time going to hit nice, right? So that's probably where and the time frames are probably going to be a lot shorter for it to make sense for platforms, because otherwise they're just going to constantly lose, I think.
Yeah, I know Pelosi does like call options on Tesla every like February or something like that. So it's something, I don't know, it's something that you can probably see soon coming from the financial institution, especially the greatest investor of all time like her. But we'll kind of keep it moving here. Global liquidity hits an all-time high at $95 trillion. Historically, Bitcoin price follows. So what this means is this is the all-time high. So it's most ever. $95 trillion is sitting in cash right now, looking for a signal for risk on. So what that tells me, I mean, Bitcoin's valued at a little over $1 trillion right now. So for $95 trillion to be sitting in cash, we could see something pretty crazy, and not just here in Bitcoin, but all over our ecosystem. But not only that, I mean, you could see money coming into the stocks and stuff like that very quickly, very soon. But pretty insane. I know Warren Buffett is sitting on close to, I think, $250 billion in cash right now. I don't know. Maybe are they getting ready for some type of global situation, or do you think they're just kind of waiting for risk on the flow?
I mean, I think they're probably waiting for risk on the flow is probably what's happening. But I mean, that's a lot, right? All-time high. The weird part is the stock market's running. I think yesterday it was also the S&P was knocking on the all-time high again. And Bitcoin's just doing its 4-year thing, right? Its cycle thing. And it's like, it doesn't matter. I think outside of the cycle being in that bull market type cycle, like let's say the previous 3 years, it would probably tell S&P a lot more. But right now it's saying you can do your own thing. Stock market, I'm following and getting back on track actually is what it seems Bitcoin is doing, really, right? So, but we'll have our time. Everybody knows that. And once that time begins, it's going to be a glorious little time period there.
I agree. Russia set to launch crypto payment trials next week. So their crypto payment rails are up, and they're technically in testnet. That's what we call it, right? They're going to be testing it out next week. What do you think about this? And they could have this by the end of the year up and running.
It seems like they're trying to really rush some things with this, right? With this, and then BRICS, they've been working with China and all those other BRICS countries. Honestly, I think they're really trying to set up a way to defend themselves from the sanctions, right?
Yeah.
And they have a plan, and they seem to be rolling out with that, and that has to do with crypto as well. So that's big for the crypto space. And I think also like the G7 or whatever, like the Western countries that do the sanctions against Russia, I think that they're realizing that this is happening, and there's not really anything they can do about it except for kind of try to catch up within the crypto space. So it's actually kind of a win-win for the innovation in the sector that we're in, because everybody's starting to come on board now, it seems.
Yeah, and it really starts with Russia, and it's going to go to other countries, right? It's monkey see, monkey do, especially the ones who consider the U.S. a potential, enemy or whatever you want to call it, for lack of better words. But if they can do this to Russia, they can do this to any country. And basically, Russia's building their own Stripe. Instead of doing it through the old payment rails, they're doing it through the new ones. So you're probably going to have potentially credit cards. I know MetaMask just launched their credit card thing where you can buy something and it comes right out of your MetaMask wallet, and you could see something very similar with these guys. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you're starting to see less resistance whenever a big entity or company in our space they're starting to announce more. I mean, like MetaMask, I want to say about a year and a half ago was kind of in this like standstill period where they were worried about regulations and all this stuff, and then now you got them announcing, you know, a debit card linked to your MetaMask account. So
Yeah.
I think what's happening is government's relaxing, these companies are realizing, they're saying, okay, now we can start to roll out the big stuff. And I think for the next year and a half we're going to start seeing some crazy product and services relating to these crypto and Bitcoin companies.
Yeah, man, couldn't agree more. All right, let's get into that Bitcoin fear and greed. Yesterday we were at a 55. Last week we were at a 30. Where are we sitting today?
38.
Pretty close. 48.
40.
Not bad. I thought it was gonna be a lot lower. Probably gonna be a lot lower tonight at 8 o'clock, but really still sitting in this middle here, floating between 30 and 55. So very interesting. I can't wait till we get here again, because this is where our runes and our BRC20s are going to take off. But I just can't wait, man. This has just been a very boring time. But let's kind of get into the price action. Let's see exactly how boring it is. Brought to you by the great guys over at BitPerp. BitPerp's going to be perp decks on Botonics, which is considered the spider chain. Botonics is going to be launching. They're in testnet right now. It's going to be really awesome. But BitPerp might not just be there. They might be in a lot of other places as well. So look out for these guys. And this is going to be the only place where you guys can really go and take 150x on Mr. Yen.
Well, I think they announced that they're doing 100x, which is still a lot.
Okay, so. All right. 100x on Mr. Yen.
Yeah.
Right?
Not
but
financial advice. We're not advising that, but
that is complete gambling. This is just basically gambling. But if you want to take a 2x or a 3x, that's something that that we do. When we think the price is headed in a certain direction. So definitely BitPerp's gonna be something to check out, and let's check them out.
Yeah. And before we do, guys, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like for us. It helps us a ton. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and turn the notifications on so you can know when we go live. On the Twitter side, guys, please share the space for us. It helps as well. And we can get some new people into our ecosystem as well. So we appreciate the support, guys. All right. Yes, BitPerp is, I'm using BitPerp's charts here. And you can see they definitely fixed the charts to where it doesn't auto repopulate. And so things are good. But are things good for Bitcoin? I'm not so sure right now. It seems like we are following that Bart Simpson pattern that I was talking about yesterday. So congrats to the people that ended up jumping on that and taking a short there. You probably did pretty well, because I think when I talked about this, it was 63,000, like 300 maybe yesterday, around there. So look, they grabbed the liquidity from 63.5. They grabbed the liquidity from 62.2. Now I think the next liquidity point is 61.7. There's about $90 million worth of longs there. And so there is some more built up liquidity at 59. So it doesn't mean that they're going to grab every single liquidity area, but they possibly could, because 59 is not far. Now, I do expect this to play out for the rest of the day. You can see the pattern isn't finished yet. We got, at least I think that's why I think we hit that 59,000, is because it's going to be, once this pattern is finished out, it's going to be right next to it. And then I think that might be a time where I'm looking at an opportunity to re-enter for a long position. But until then, I'm waiting out. I'm being patient. It has paid off for me, but don't take my advice at all. I'm not a super great trader or anything like that, but I'm learning and having fun with this. Now, look at the MACD. You can see on the hour chart, the sell pressure is still there. The blue and orange lines have opened up. The stochastics, we are back and oversold. So yeah, I'm just really being patient, waiting for this pattern to complete. I think that we probably finish it today, meaning that I think that we go further down. So I see 60,000, possibly even touch to 59. Maybe it creeps over until tomorrow, but that's what I'm seeing. On the 8-hour chart, which is going to give us kind of like a 7-day forecast, you can see this, kind of, it looked like a bull flag until boop, this came all the way down here. You can see we are heading into oversold on the stochastics, as well as the MACD just started the sell pressure on the 8-hour chart. So guys, we might not finish August that great, but like I said, if we can get to 59,000, I'm going to be looking at a strong support area there. And this is my chart back on the 4-hour chart right here. You can see, there's support here at 60,800. And then we have another, this is really the point of control for the 4-hour chart at $59,031. So, you can see here so many times right here, it support brought it back up, and that's why that's a point of controls there. So I'm looking at like a 59,000 kind of opportunity, but I'm still going to be cautious because that like it can continue on, right? But second half of the day, I believe that pattern does finish out. And again, congrats if you guys took that Bart Simpson. It was pretty easy. A lot of people were talking about it as well on the Twitter timeline.
Yeah, I remember yesterday when you talked about the Bart Simpson pattern, I was like, no, it's a bull flag. Stop it. But it's looking like you're right on that one. I'm just too bullish for my own good. That is why I am not a good perp trader at all. I'm too bullish. I will be good in about 6 months though, when I can just long and forget about it. Right. So,
that was funny though yesterday because Shizzy was literally trying to talk me out of the Bart Simpson pattern, and I was like, no, like he's like, no, it looks like a bear flag, and I was like, yeah, kind of, but no, it's fun. I'm still learning, and it's fun just learning about these different indicators and all that stuff. So
yeah, and I'm just too bullish for my own good. Getting into my favorite part of the show here, the roll call. Absolutely amazing to see you guys coming here every single day. The same names, the same people. We just appreciate you guys so much, and definitely love doing the roll call to kind of our way of giving back to show some love to you guys. But first is first on this show, and it will always be that way. So Webdro, you have won today, my friend. You have been here. You've been commenting on the YouTube videos, man. Just want to show some appreciation to you, my friend. You are a legend, and thank you so much. He writes, bull run, hell yeah, let's go. My man Mike's World, he said, just watch Shizzy and Francis video. It was an entire hour of listening to sounds of one man gobbling fractal balls. Without runes, there are no fractal. Shizzy stood his ground. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, my friend. KDN is here. Shout out to you. Mr. Sheedy's in the building. He said, in the graveyard. No, Sheedy. You made it didn't get deleted for some reason. I don't know. YouTube does weird things. But yeah, shout out to you. And then hello, Yashir, man. He says, hello, you lovely people. You are the man, Yashir, one of our mods. Appreciate you so much. And he goes, what a pose, Shizzy. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. That was my sad pose. And I don't know. End up on a Polish side. So that's great. I love it. Tim Baker, AOD Art. Shout out to you, my friend. He said, I'm late. That was 9:50 p.m. last night. You were super early, my friend. Appreciate you. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, he loves me and I love you. Ring-a-ding-a-ding, coin game. Shout out to you, my friend. Lackey Lukey is here. He said, let's go. Zahid's in the building. PJNZ, Bitmap Gallery, Danny Boy, one of our mods. We appreciate you, my friend. Always out there just killing it, bro. If you don't know Danny's on top of everything. If there's something new, Danny's in it. Shout out to him.
100%.
Ordinal tweets. Ordinals chips. I love how they're always back to back. Ordinals tweets and Ordinal chips, like they're brothers sitting across from each other. Shout out to you guys. Redziak is here. Glass Hoppers in the building. Rick G with the long live in the tap. Perfect for a tap Tuesday. SBI is here. Super fan. Shout out to Super fan out there building. Head down, hoodie up, music blasting. Shout out to him. Chief Axel is here. No is in the building. Neo Meester is here. Joko. John with the here. Shout out to John. Always out there. It's very English of you, John. Jane Watcher is here. Mr. Sheedy's in the building. Albert always hating OpNet. Pelpa is here. Mega Chad is in the building. Another OpNet. Be careful. Cherry Masters here. Ant-Man. Cheedy said, what's up, guys? Shout out to Cheedy, man. Loving you, my friend. Mr. Sheedy said, I agree with Shizzy. I'm waiting for the time you can long any dip. Hell yeah, Mr. Sheedy. Appreciate you.
The Patty Poo.
So Patty Poo sent us some coins today. He asked me for my wallet address. He sent us his 5 ticker BRC20 and Yagob 5 ticker BRC20. So they minted out the whole supply and he sent it to us. So shout out to Patty Poo, man. Really appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Cash Cats is also in the building, always bringing the coffee and the donuts and the dog. Go to the moon. Shout out to you, my friend. Shout out to every single one of you guys for making roll call every single day. We appreciate you guys, and we're gonna give you guys some news of the day.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Before we do, we have this. We have our title: Urgent Bitcoin massive inflows confirmed. Bull run loading. So what this basically means to us is that we know the next couple months with all the bullish news that comes in. We read you guys the Bitcoin news for a reason, because it just shows you it doesn't matter what the price is doing right now. The big guys are gobbling this up, right? $95 trillion sitting on the sideline. Bitcoin is getting ready for something that no one's going to expect, but everyone's going to say they expect it, right? It's going to be so absolutely insane. And in my opinion, it's going to be something that we deserve. Dealing with the bear market that we had to deal with, dealing with from Luna to FTX, all the way up to, crypto banks crashing. It's been rough for us. And I think that's all going to pay off.
Yeah. Yep. And I think $533 million hit ETFs last week, I believe. I believe that was the metric there. But yeah, I mean, that is showing us that, look, the interest from the fund managers and TradFi is there. They're just, being smart, in my opinion, and prepping for the ascent for Bitcoin. And that's the thing, guys. Like, no matter what, right now, Bitcoin looks bloody. It is bloody. We're finishing out that pattern. It's at 61.7, but that doesn't matter. That's all noise. If you're able to, have discipline and trade that, then great. But if you're just a spot trader and you have your assets that you're holding, just remember the big story. Zoom out. I think that's the biggest thing, because we both believe, and I know a lot of you guys too, that this is going to be a big cycle for Bitcoin's price at the end of the day.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Jumping into some bullish stuff here. Fractal Bitcoin. Fractal mainnet is set to launch. We're thrilled to announce this week from Fractal. We're thrilled to announce that Fractal mainnet is expected to officially launch on September 9th, 2024. So I know I was saying in November. I still think a lot of stuff's going to be delayed. I think in September 9th, we're really only going to get the BRC20 minting and stuff. We're not going to see the smart contract language probably for a little while. I'd be shocked if the bridge is live that day, but it could be. We'll see. I'm actually getting a lot more bullish on this team now that they're exceeding expectations. I mean, they said that September and they're putting out, so they're definitely not dealing with the old Unisat's ways, right? Fractal is a different team that is, brought together with Unisat now, but originally was a different team. So this is something that's pretty cool. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they put that out there gives me confidence that they're going to reach that date. Now, I believe when they had the modular system, I think they put a post out that they had to say, hey, we got to extend a little bit. So maybe that could happen. But to me, I think that they try really hard to shoot for September 9th. But we'll see. I think it's exciting for people. You made a good point earlier today that, because they're aiming for this date and they've let the public know, that they're going to be launching, you're suspecting that the smart contract stuff won't come till later. So this is going to be basically a faster, cheaper version of Bitcoin is what they're going to roll out with. And I don't know if that's too exciting, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the swap system's still going to be modular. I think you're going to have the black module and the white module, the bridge in, bridge out, similar to what we have here on Bitcoin. But they're going to have OpCat and stuff, so it's going to be a lot easier for them to kind of get the computation down right and get it perfect. So I do think the black and the white will be up day one, but I think you're still going to have to bridge in the Fractal, then bridge into this modular system, and then bridge out. So into the modular system, I think you're going to have a fee token just like you had on L1, whether that's pizza or sats. People are saying, rumors that they're going to change to pizza because it's called Pizza Swap, but some people are saying no, they're going to keep it sats. So sats will be the fee token inside. I still think having a fee token is a forced narrative, but inside that modular system, you can really do whatever you want. But on the Fractal sidechain, FB token will be the gas token. Because that's how it is on testnet. I can't see them changing that. So I'm just curious. What do you think about, doing it, just kind of playing around in the beginning, just us minting tokens, going into the swap, coming out of the swap, and that type of situation? Is that going to be fun? But then they can come out and add more stuff later. So that could be exciting.
Yeah, I think it could be fun, especially with the blocks being 30 seconds versus 10 minutes, right? So bridging into another environment, which would be absolutely weird, in my opinion, because you're scaling out and then you're scaling out again. It's almost like a layer 2.5 or layer 3, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're going to have what they have, right? So I think people are going to mess with it. But if it's like, I don't know. So here's the thing. People will be able to put liquidity up. They can withdraw, they can deposit. That part might be fun. It might be like a degen experience, right? But look, they have competition with like Odin Swap. We're gonna have Nakib on tomorrow, and he's gonna do a deep dive into Odin Swap, which we played around with, and it was really, really fast. And they have some big runes on there. So I think they need to make sure that their user experience is really like above and beyond, because they have a lot of things to compete with. So if it's just the same thing or less, like a worse experience than what we already have, people aren't going to do anything with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then, Pizza Swap will just be the mantra system, and then you're going to have other swaps coming once the smart contract language is revealed, right? Once people can start using that to build, I'm sure people already have it, reach out to them, and they tell them what's going on with it. But for them to get to where they want to be, they're going to need a smart contract language. They're not going to just use Bitcoin's, way we do things over here. It's going to be a lot different. So I'm curious what language that's going to be, a UTXO model language, maybe something similar to what Cardano has. I'm not sure. But I know Cardano is very clunky.
They have announced it. So it's going to be like a BSV TypeScript, I believe, which is similar to Bitcoin's native script.
Okay.
Right. So it's going to be pretty much the same thing. They're just going to have smart contracts with it. So yeah, we also talked a little bit about how it's not going to be Solidity. So it's going to be probably a different experience. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like though. Right. Yeah. I think that's when people mess around with a lot of things.
Yeah, I agree. But that's the thing too, is like how battle tested is this? How many hacks do we got to see before they get it right and stuff like that? So I'm hoping 0, but I'm definitely going to be cautious with it because it is new, right? It's different. So
yeah.
But the highlights are Fractal tokenomics of this article. We're going to get into that in a second. BRC20s on Fractal. I'm calling FRC20s. Pizza swap testing. Bridges on Fractal. More wallets, more protocols, and dApps. But let's dig into the tokenomics first. So they posted this yesterday. I want to get your opinion on this because I personally gave Tap a hard time with their tokenomics. But looking at this is a lot different. But 50% of it obviously will be proof of work mining. 15% of it will be ecosystem treasury. 5% will be pre-sale. 5% would be advisor. 10% will be community grants. This is where I think the airdrop's going to come from. I'm thinking they will do an airdrop, and I'm thinking that only because they're going to want a lot of holders. And so when you go to someone like Binance, you need to have two things. You need to have some coins, and I'm estimating that's where it's going to come from, the treasury, and you're going to need a lot of holders. And I think that's going to come from the community grants. And you go to Binance, you get in a line, and you give them free tokens and kind of like your application, and you wait and potentially get put on. But I do think something like FB does get put on there. And I think that's going to be a very derivative of Bitcoin. People are going to play that, how they play Sats and Ordi and stuff like that, and Merlin as well. So I'm actually very, very curious what that's going to feel like and look like, or how fast that takes. And then the last 15% is core contributors. This is for the team and developers and stuff like that. So I'm curious of your opinion on the tokenomics.
Yeah, I mean, tokenomics with a mined token, I think is going to always be a little unique, right? Half of it gets just already allocated out of there, right? So then if you have any like investors and stuff like that, that's where I think they have to split the rest of this up. Now it looks like they're not necessarily labeling like an investor part of the pie, right? I see advisor, so that could be more of like the KOLs. Pre-sell, yeah, okay, 5%. That's actually not too bad. I don't know. I don't think it looks that bad, right? In terms of tokenomics with backing from large entities, so not bad at all. Where I think it's cool is the core contributors get 15% too, right? So like you're having your core devs and people that are assisting making it as good as possible, having skin in the game here, because now they want to make sure that the chain does well and it's up to par with all that stuff. Right. Also, the treasury is important for making sure that you have security, right, with the token and the project. So I think this actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree with you. So let's just kind of break it down. 15% to the treasury. Like I said, that's going to be going to probably like NXC and OKX and Binance and all the bigger exchanges. Probably like 5-6% of that, maybe 7%. So, but like another 8%. Like, where would the treasury spend their money? Like what? Like I guess I don't know. I guess the
Yeah,
foundation.
yeah, foundation. Try to encourage outside builders to come in, marketing some if they need to, that kind of thing, and then just maybe some reserves for the actual token if they have like plans with that when they roll that out, how that's gonna look. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Like one of the things that we do know about Unisat is they're very close to the chest. They don't like to release a lot of their plans until they roll the product and service out. So we got to kind of guess at this point, right? Or join one of their spaces and ask them directly.
Yeah, 100%. Pre-sale. I asked Francis yesterday. I said, I know, Binance. They invested in us, and he said he thinks Binance invested in the company. They bought equity. They didn't get any coins. What do you think about that? Do you think that's right?
I mean, I can for sure see that. I can
Yeah,
for sure see that. I mean, imagine Unisat, right? Like they are a marketplace, right? In Ordinals, like they were the biggest marketplace at one point.
yeah,
Their brand is established. They're probably going to continually build out other entities underneath them, kind of like what we saw when we had that call the other day with that um that centralized exchange, right? Just talking about like different things and stuff and how they grew. I can see Unisat doing that, right? Because
yeah,
people are putting into them because they have a team of builders, and it doesn't just necessarily stop from like FB chain, because that wasn't their product at first, right? They found that product and collaborated, and so I think that this is going to be like a parent company of a bunch of smaller companies underneath them, and I think Binance saw that vision, but could be completely wrong.
yeah. 5% to advisors. I think that's very fair. I mean, the advisors obviously help them with a lot of things. Community grants. So this is basically going to be put, in my opinion, and this is my speculation, potentially an airdrop, potentially to bring builders to build there, because you can give this to, hey, you build over here. These are the grants we give, similar to what Merlin does. You build over there. Your Merlin tokens. Every chain really does it. So I think the community grants, 10% is very fair, but I do think an airdrop happens out of that. That is complete speculation. But what do you think about that?
For community grants, yeah, that could be part of their marketing plan, right? Is to do campaign stuff to entice people to come over and use it. Look, I mean, we know from the experience with Merlin that people don't necessarily like to bridge, right? Unless they absolutely have to. And so I think this is what that's probably about. They're trying to encourage users to come over and bridge over, right? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they still have to bridge off of Bitcoin into Fractal. So,
Yep. Okay, it says BRC20s on Fractal is coming. Curious about when BRC20s will live on Fractal mainnet. Take a guess. BRC20s on Fractal will be activated on block 21,000. So you're going to need 21,000 blocks to go through before you're able to mint some BRC20s. So it kind of gives everyone that advantage to bridge over, get your Bitcoin ready, or get your FB ready, probably your FB. Figure out how to get FB, right? Because I don't know what they're going to do with that, or because no one's going to have any in the beginning.
So 21,000 was the testnet addition, like re-adding it back to live. So
Yes.
block 21,000 was that not a part of this, or are you talking about the mempool, the actual mempool of Fractals 21,000
No.
the live? Okay.
So when Fractal when they reset the testnet, like you had to wait. That's why you had to wait the 7 days.
Yeah.
Right. That it wasn't just because they waited. It's just you had to wait for block 21,000 to be able to start minting. And that's what we were waiting for. We weren't waiting for things. So according to that, you're gonna have to wait potentially 7 days after the 9th to be able to start playing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I thought you had that confused in terms of the block 21,000, but I think I get what you were saying now.
So block 0 you won't be able to start minting until 21,000. So let's just say it launches the 9th. You'll probably be able to get ready. So they're giving everyone that time in between to send, they might have the swap going where you can send in wrapped Bitcoin or wrapped sats or wrapped whatever and trade that for FB and then use that FB to, start going. But that's also gives the miners time to start going as well, right? So the miners need to make sure the blocks are flowing. So you're definitely going to need that up and running before it gets crazy. The craziness happens, right? You get more miners online, so there's no stoppage or anything like that. So,
gotcha. Yeah. So I was talking about the test net, the mempool test net, and the main net. They're going to wait till 21,000 again, I guess. So
yeah,
that's a solid plan.
Yeah, but again, it's time for everyone to get ready. So before the craziness starts. So if you think you're going to be over there minting on September 9th, you got some time to wait. But I think that's okay. Pizza Swap, previously named Fractal Swap on Fractal, will be available on the testnet this week. This is your chance to dive in and start swapping native. So this is when we're going to find out if it's the modular system or not, right? I'm thinking it is, but we will find out this week once this swap goes live, and then we can start playing. If you have to bridge in and bridge out, obviously with 30-second blocks, it's not going to feel like anything. It's going to feel very seamless, but it's still going to be potentially a bridge if they're using the modular system. I don't know. I'm guessing. What do you think about this?
I hope it's not, but I can see until they release the smart contracts that they do use that method. I mean, at least we're going to see what the actual modular system was supposed to be and what it will be, I guess, eventually on layer 1. But I mean, imagine all the people that put the liquidity pools in there, did they earn anything?
Yeah, they're supposed to be earning sats.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what that modular system's like on Fractal. And then also it's pizza swap. So what relation does it have with pizza at all? There has to be some sort of relation to that, right? I didn't see the pizza token jump up once they announced this, though. Have you heard anything about that?
It's it flew up. It's 550 now.
Is it? Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, it did. It did. Yeah. Okay.
Sats dipped though. That's the thing. Sats dipped hard, and pizza flew up. It was like they're selling sats to buy pizza right now.
Interesting. I mean, everything else is down though. So I can see why maybe sats went down. And so, but what relation did they say? Is it a governance token for the swap? There has to be some relation to, for it to go up.
Here it is right here. Once Pizza Swap goes live, we'll be testing. Okay, this is different. A mini. We testing an embedded mini asset bridge, allowing you to trade for Bitcoin and other assets between Bitcoin and Fractal. So once Pizza Swap goes live, then they're going to open the bridge up, which will allow you to bring in your Bitcoin, swap that for FB to get the gas token. I'm not sure if they're going to give everyone. I don't know. Maybe if you bridge over, you get one Fractal Bitcoin for gas. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Maybe they'll do a faucet like they're doing right now, where you can go and you get a little bit of Fractal Bitcoin to kind of play around until that gets a little stronger with it being everywhere. The Bull bridge powered by Bull Network is also set to function on the testnet. So we'll be able to bridge on testnet potentially soon as well before Fractal mainnet goes live. Other bridging solutions are on the way with testing timelines being finalized in the near future. So the bridges and stuff are happening. I thought this was information about Fractal, the swap, but it is not. There's really no information on it right now. They do have a Medium article. Here's that swap import notice. So this is old though. This is from July 7th. But yeah. But yeah, man. So that's the Fractal tokenomics and the Fractal update. What is your last thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to feel about Fractal. I know there's excitement there for sure, because I think there's going to be opportunities just like there was on Merlin, right, with some of those first tokens. You might be upset about who's market cap now, but if you got in at 200,000 and many people had plenty of time to do that, I missed it because I was so focused on everything else, but was able to get in a little bit later. It went all the way to 30 million, I think. So I think people are going to look for those opportunities to see, which ones to get into and then when to get out. It's going to be tricky though, because one of these ecosystems are going to launch leading up into that first big leg up, and that one's going to see so much benefits, even though it might not be as great from a tech standpoint or even a marketing standpoint if it has a little bit of hype. And so I'm sure that they're hoping that Bitcoin reverses trend in early September, because that could be huge for Fractal too, though.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. All right. So speaking of with Fractal mining VIP pool, BTC terminal, formerly Runes terminal, they're now BTC terminal, but they're allowing you right now. You have about 22 hours left, but you need a whitelist, so you can go and you can purchase one of these VIP passes, which is going to give you access to the mining rewards. So they're going to use this to get miners up and running, and yeah, and then you'll get a part of the FB token. So what do you think about? First off, BTC terminal changing their name from Runes terminal to BTC terminal, and second off, them kind of doing the mining for you, and all you got to do is buy one of these VIP ordinals.
Yeah, this is interesting. They're not the only one doing this, by the way. So
Yeah.
I believe the hashlings are doing a mining pass as well. So I look at this and I see, this is pretty cool. They're trying to really have an interaction with their community, saying, "Hey, look, you can earn Fractal in this pool. You get this pass. We'll split out the rewards to everybody." I think it's a good idea, and kudos to the people that jumped on it with Runes Terminal or would they change their name?
BTC terminal.
Yeah, and also hashlings, right? Because I think that they're going to do pretty well with these passes. How does the holders make out? Who knows? If Fractals like shoots up huge, becomes like a $5-10 billion market cap, that could do well for them for those passes. Especially in the beginning if they're able to mine a lot. So it's gonna be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think Fractal starts off at a $100 million market cap though, because whatever the investors, you know what I mean. So it's going to be a pretty high market cap in the beginning. Because I'm sure the investors got in a certain amount, which definitely means that they're not going to sell it anything less than obviously what they paid. So we might see Fractal kind of pass pizza in the early days. I mean, which is probably going to be the number one coin over there, right? It has to be to make sense. You're not going to have Sats and pizza be more than the FB token, right?
Yeah. That would be weird, right? if like the market cap was higher than the actual chains token that you can mine. But hey, we saw it on Bill's coin. Although there was a technical anomaly, I guess you would say. Well, not necessarily an anomaly. The Ordinals wallet marketplace was not working properly for Nook, but Nook was like a multiple 100 million market cap, and so we'll see. We'll see if that happens here. Maybe it does, but the chain token will always catch up.
I agree. This is huge. Stacks Nakamoto upgrade. We talked about this in July, and it got pushed back to August. It might have even been June. But Stacks Nakamoto, we were all hyped for it. We had what's the name on? He was kind of talking about it with us, and Hunch was on, yeah. And so now Stacks Nakamoto upgrade is just 2 days away. The upgrade will bring faster block times and Bitcoin finality. What do you think? Do you think this gets pushed back again? Do you think we see this in 2 days? I remember it got postponed on the day last time. Does this happen again? Do we finally see, after 3 years, do we finally see the Nakamoto upgrade?
I mean, I feel like they have to. Obviously, they can say that you're going to push it back, but I actually think this is bullish for the space, because if they didn't feel like the timing wasn't right, I feel like these guys would have extended it out. So for them, they're looking like, hey, look, we can do it a month early, have people get familiar with using Stacks chain, and then whenever things get really ultra bullish, let's say late September, October, we would have been trying to onboard users for a month and a half. So it's really smart, actually, I think, for them. And I do think they come through with it, because if they don't, it's stupid for them to put this information out. You know what I mean? It would be dumb for them to say, hey, we're finally, it's here. Like, we postponed it before, and unless there's barring an emergency or something, but
yeah,
I think it'll happen.
And they got a space for that day as well. They set a space. They got a space you can attend and stuff like that. So I'm curious. I'll probably be attending. It seems like it's going to be really early in the morning. So we'll see. I'm check that out. But jump into the banners. This is cool. Mr. Yen, he put out a tweet this morning. Yen Tech Solutions. He says, getting close to 100 Mr. Yen videos made. And I want to say thank you to everybody who still watched my video and engage with my posts. So Mr. Yen, almost 100 videos from this guy. Obviously, we know that it's not the real Mr. Yen who's in control of this Twitter account, but the guy who is one of the best.
Wait. You're telling me Mr. Yen is not doing it, and it's some like 13-year-old white kid from like Tennessee behind the computer? No,
that would be racist. It's some guy who is very similar to Mr. Yen, Japanese, I hope, and he's
a businessman.
Yeah, maybe he's basing his character on his father. He loves his son. Like, I don't know, but Mr. Yen, one of my favorite runes, and this is really cool. I'm just thankful for this guy or this team or to really be pushing like this. So it's really awesome to see, and he makes it look easy.
Yeah, definitely talented. If it doesn't work out with Mr. Yen, maybe you can jump on the Ordinal Revolution team, because that guy knows how to make some awesome AI videos, man.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of runes, Binance News reports Bitcoin runes protocol generates 162 million in fees in the past 4 months. So you can say whatever you want about runes and stuff like that, but 162 million dollars in fees to the miners, we're keeping these guys afloat, man. So this is huge, especially right now. Bitcoin's barely profitable. I think mining one Bitcoin costs about $56,000 in electricity, and so they're making about $5,000 on each Bitcoin, and they're probably only getting so many now that only 3 a block, right? I can't see a company getting more than like 25 Bitcoin a day, right? So this kind of really helps the miners stay in power.
It does, but I think the larger mining companies are benefiting the most, right? You still have like the smaller mining companies that probably aren't winning too many of these blocks, and when they do, the fees aren't as high as they were before. The volume might be there, but the fees aren't like they were whenever BRC20s were minting. And I don't know if that's just the cost of BRC20s or the popularity of BRC20s, because I think a really good research project would be, at the height of BRC20s, what was the volume like compared to the height of runes, right? Because like right now, I think runes is always going to be the top volume of transactions on Bitcoin's chain, because BRC20s just aren't being minted like they were before, right? So but that being said, hey, look, no one can take this away, that runes wins this award of having the most fees generated for any fungible token on Bitcoin. And that has to say, volume there in terms of the demand. At least it's the most demanded token now, standard right now.
100%. Yeah, man. The next thing we have here is the Nintendo BRC Bell 20. Wow, I'm BRC 20. Bell 20 marketplace is now live. So for at Nintendo.io, if you are a Bell's holder, you can connect your wallet. I'm having issues though. I go to connect my wallet, I hit sign, and it won't let me
to log in.
Failed to log in. So I'm not sure. I mean, this went live yesterday or today, and I'm still having some issues with it. But yesterday you weren't able to really see this, and now we have it here. You can buy Nook, you can buy Bat, and all the other Bell 20s and stuff like that. So, and we had a conversation with Adam McBride yesterday. He's one of the guys who really helped get this thing relaunched and merge mining and happening. But Taproot's going to be added in a few weeks, and then OpNet after. So not OpNet, OpCat. After. So that's one thing. And we asked them yesterday, and you can find out that video later. It'll be launched probably later today. We asked them, like, why hasn't Doge upgraded to Segnet? Why hasn't Doge upgraded to Taproot? Or why are they even thinking about OpCat? Because Doge is just a fork of Bitcoin, right? And he's basically said it's too decentralized. To get that many people to even vote on something is impossible. That many miners and stuff like that, and they're afraid to destroy the chain. They're afraid for something bad to happen. Too many billions of dollars. And I called this, right? I think we talked about this before, and I was like, yeah, they can't risk it. It's not worth risk. But something like Bell's, which is a $40 million market cap, they can risk this right now. It's not that hard. I mean, you're speculating really, really hard. It's not even like it's the first meme coin and everything, but I mean, it's very speculative right now, and you're able to put changes in.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I'm not saying Adam McBride was lying. I think he's telling the truth, but I think that either they're not getting to the right people on Doge or something. Because look, guys, like getting through the ironclad core of Bitcoin to add Taproot. I mean, and you can't add it to Doge, and you're telling me that it's harder to get the core devs of Doge to agree on innovation. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe. Now I know the efforts for Bitcoin have been going on for a very long time, so it's kind of like you're knocking on that door constantly, annoying people and stuff like that. And the knocking on the door of the Doge core devs, or whatever they call their main centered team, has probably just been going on for the past year. um, I still feel like, you know, they're either not reaching to the right people, or something's happening to where they're not the right people are asking the right questions or something.
Well, he said the core Doge guys, they said Doge is money. They don't want things on their chain,
You
right?
don't
So,
think like you you think that they're more worried than like the Bitcoin core devs are?
well, you got to remember. So when you build on Doge, you're not getting a lot of the fees. The miners aren't going to get a lot of the fees. It's almost nothing to play over there. So for them, there's no incentive like there is for Bitcoin.
I guess you have a good point there, because like even if you are, you know, paying, like volume goes up tremendously, does that increase the income for miners? I don't know what that would look like. You probably have to like have tons and tons and tons of volume, like crazy amounts, for that to make sense. I don't know though. I don't know
Yeah,
the metrics, and you know, you could be right, you know, because if there was a big enough incentive, then money makes mountains move almost, right?
exactly.
And
Yep.
so yeah, it's just I think it's kind of sad though, because like Doge is about, like, you know, initially was about like meme fun, all that kind of thing. And you know, there's a community there that really needs
Yeah.
help and stuff like that. But hey, to your point, you know, Adam McBride, shout out to him, saw an opportunity to help another community and a chain revive itself from the same creators that created Doge. And
Yeah.
now there's a marketplace. And I mean, it's actually like the stuff happening on Bells is like the Doge culture though. Like Nintendo, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like we heard about the backstory of this, which is hilarious. You know, the naming of the chain, you know, after the
Yep.
dog from some Nintendo
Yeah.
game and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah, man. So this is a tweet from Foxy. Launching on September 5th, unlock the DMT UNET metaverse deployable Bitminer, mine BitFoxy, and rare resources, airdrop tokens, and much more. So this goes live September 5th. This is a game changer for DMT and Foxy, correct?
yeah, I mean, these guys, man, they are like us. They remind me of ourselves, because like they just like heads down, ignore the noise from the outside.
Yeah.
I'm sure they got a lot of like criticism initially about like, oh, you know, metaverse doesn't work, or these games don't work in crypto, and they were just like, we don't care what you think. We're going to build what we believe in and what we're passionate about. And they're here right now. Like they have the beta version of their game, and now they're going to have this bit miner that flows perfectly right into DMT, which is a really cool approach to non-arbitrary data applying to digital asset values, right? So love it. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to play the next version of the beta in the game, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it too. I'm excited to get one of these bit miners as well and kind of see what they can do. So I'm definitely excited for Foxy and the bit miners, but it's coming quick, dude. I mean, we're what, August 27th, 30 days in August, so we're about a week away, a little bit more than a week away. So excited for that. Round 4 of the track validator license sale is 410% oversubscribed. Acquiring a license grants the rights to run a validator to secure the track network and earn tap tokens. This is crazy because I was a part of the very first thing, and I was able to get it with no problem. I don't think it was oversubscribed. I think it was very slow. The second one was a lot faster. The third one was faster, and the fourth one's faster. But you're paying a lot of track for these now. I think I paid 250 track, and I think now, I mean, with the fourth one, I'm not sure if it's 750 or 1,000. I gotta check up on that, but you're spending a lot of track to get
Isn't
these validators now.
isn't that funny how human psychology works with stuff like this?
Yeah,
Like it's like this is exactly why people buy green candles, right? Like when they're trading, is because they're like, oh man, I can't miss it, FOMO. And same thing with this validator system, right? Like if you were paying attention earlier, you could have got a validator for 250 track, 350 track. Then now 700. Next is 1,000. Then it goes to 10,000, and you will have people like buying 10,000 track to get one of these down the line. It's just the way that human psychology works. The masses buy green candles, and it's crazy.
I agree. So a total of 750,000 track is removed from the circulating supply towards the track core treasury, 3.6% of the total supply. So we know that this is going to the treasury of track because track didn't have any tokens in the beginning, right? It wasn't like how we were talking about Fractal where, 15% was going to the treasury. Track had zero. Track was a free and fair mint. So this is kind of their way of giving you the license, which to run the validators, which is pretty cool, and also locking away these track and the validators, which allows them to do many things. And one of the big things they've done already was to get track on MEXC. And I think that was probably one of the biggest moves that they made so far this year. So that was absolutely huge. And by getting these track tokens, you're able to do things like that.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the track ecosystem, I feel like is really right now, the past couple of weeks has kind of put some of these building blocks in place. This has always been one that's been on people's mind because, oh wow, I can actually like contribute to the track indexing and with the tap ecosystem, blah blah blah, right? But not just that, like with the Taparoo swap and all these things, I think they're prepping kind of like what Stacks is doing Nakamoto upgrade. They're prepping for the next month. So
Yep. All right, guys, it's Tuesday and it's 12 p.m. You know what that means. It is officially Tap Tuesday. So let's get rid of this banner here and let's bring up Track Lord Tom. Tom, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution, my friend.
Hey, how's it going? Tap Tuesdays. Woo!
How you doing?
So it's all
pretty good. So you guys are already discussing the validators, but I think including this current round. So this current round, which is, I think you have to submit your wallet, the pledge before the 2nd of September, right? So including this round, it will be 750,000, I think. So I think so far we had the 300, the 500 round, and the 700 round, the first 3 rounds. So together that was like 15. So 1,500 times 300 is 450,000, I think, so far. So the next round is another 300,000. So yeah, the numbers are getting pretty big. And yeah, as you guys say, it goes in the track treasury. But I think for the short term at least, and probably the medium term, I think it's just best to consider them just off the market completely. I think it's been mentioned a couple of times in the Discord already, but obviously for us to utilize that tokens, it requires us accepting ownership of them, which is a tax liability, right? So it becomes a bit more complicated. So in the meantime, I think the official answer from us was it's essentially just off the market, at least for the time being. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. So it is just taking it straight out. And the MEXC thing, great. It's obviously always super important to have another place to trade. So I'm set up on there, and it's where I like to get my big buys in as well. So yeah, super happy about that.
Yeah, I used to love MEXC, and then I signed in once with my IP address, and now I can't get back in. So being a U.S. citizen, MEXC doesn't like me no more. So.
I didn't realize it was unavailable. I have the same problem with Gate in the UK. They don't allow me anymore. So I feel like this cycle there's been a lot of kind of clampdowns on certain exchanges and different regional jurisdictions, and it kind of feels like getting a digital identity. Like the Palau it feels like such a good idea this cycle. So might have to bite the bullet at some point. Just pretend I'm from some Pacific island.
Yeah, man. So what can you give us from Tap this week? Have you had any talks with Benny?
I have, but it's honestly mostly been about track. But just kind of there's been a few things that have been mentioned. So obviously for any bitmap holders, quite important is, I'm sure you may have heard already, is that the indexing is coming over to Tap. So it will be on the Tap reader where you can get all the bitmap data for free. There's still some things that are not done yet, so the parcels. But I think Benny said in the next 1 or 2 weeks that there should be a release. So I think another good thing for the space, and it kind of harps back to something that people do forget sometimes, is that especially with track, there's always a lot of work going on in the background, because there's indexing that needs to be maintained, and obviously this is going to be like a lot easier and more robust once the validator network is up. But in the meantime, it's like a lot of this work is pretty labor intensive, right? It's work that Benny and the team are doing, and so I would say what I've seen most activity-wise this week has been a lot of interest in track and how indexing and validation actually works, and how that applies to not only Bitcoin directly, but layer twos and also other ecosystems, and how we're going to utilize that and how we're going to expand. There's been a little bit of a focus that direction, which has been nice to have a little bit of variety. Obviously we still get the when launch, when this, when that, the current guidelines are still hopefully by the end of September. I think there's no plans to have any more delays, and hopefully by the end of September, because we all want it out, right? We all want it out. We all want to see the ecosystem doing great. What else is there? So,
well, I was going to ask you real quick. So could you explain a little bit about the bitmap indexing? So I know before track was under the track name in terms of the indexing for bitmap. And then there was some changes with Satoshi and stuff like that. And then track started to kind of have like a million things to focus on. And then now the announcement is that bitmap indexing is going to go under the Tap ecosystem. Is that correct?
I believe so. I think it's a case of just having extra functionality. The DMT block drops, I mean, I've not been given a direct update on this, so I'm probably going to be speaking a little bit out of my comfort zone if I get too into it. But I believe it's just a case of extending functionality.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well,
what were you saying? Did you have something else, Tom? I'm sorry.
No, I kind of got distracted. I totally lost my train of thought. So I mean, aside from that, we're just kind of just waiting for September. Obviously we've got October. We've got the Bitcoin Amsterdam, and that's going to be a nice, super big event. And the other thing is obviously we've got the ongoing marketplace. So I think you guys showed a sneak peek of what I was talking about, like the whole Taparoo and the different marketplaces and the swap, and just showing the graphics of what we had going. And obviously it's been on the testnet for I think about a week now, so people have been minting away, trying out the functions and that, and so that's super good to see. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before that's all live. But I haven't been given an update about the date of that as of yet. But I can assume that we're still on dead schedule, and it should be fairly soon.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to grab that again. I have it right here.
But I totally agree with what you were saying earlier about the nodes. Like once people see that like the first few rounds just sold out within minutes, it's suddenly the value proposition just seems a lot more real for people. And I think it was a good decision by the team to have it structured like that, such that the people that really believed in the product and got in early, and it still is respecting the community, right? Having these early rounds as being cheap in real terms, right? Obviously, a lot of people are going to be asking, well, is anyone going to buy it for 10,000? And we can't say for sure that they will, but like that is, it's not really going to be looking at individual investors at that point, right? It's going to be looking at, companies, institutions.
Yeah.
And you know,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If it gets to 10,000, I might sell mine. I mean, I'm bullish on track. I think 10,000. I think track gets to between $30 and $50. So
yeah,
I
of
mean,
course,
that's a lot of money.
yeah. I mean, I like. As much as I'm not here to ever discuss price, really. I mean, I'm a trader myself, so I'm always interested in what people's expectations are for certain things, and I think $30 to $50 track is a very reasonable. I would say even a low end estimation of where we could get in a bull run, right? And I think having like a realistic idea of where something can get is super important, because you don't want to be that guy that. I mean, we're to some degree we're all in it for the tech as well, a little bit. You know, there's always that. But you know, if you there's no sense in holding your bags forever as well. You know, sometimes. Yeah. Even no matter how much you believe in a project, you've got to take your initials out. I think. I mean, I certainly do. It's just best practice, right? But yeah, no, I know what you mean. And yeah, there will be hopefully a thriving aftermarket for the validators, because it benefits everyone if they're in the hands of people that are actually going to use it, because that's going to strengthen the network, and it also means that there's people getting their tap rewards and incentives, and everyone's happy. So we don't want people to necessarily just hold on to them and not use them, right? Like, so if people want to sell them, like if people were lucky enough to get them in the early rounds and they want to sell them, just all power to you. So someone else will buy them and utilize them, and we're fine with that, right? Because it might be that you thought you would be able to do it, but then your connection is not as good as you thought it would. Other people are getting better results than you, whatever. There's plenty of reasons why you might decide that you don't want to run it in the end, but there's going to be lots of people to do as well. So yeah,
I agree. I just want to show this real quick. This is Taparoo Swap, and the graphics are really cool. Got some unicorns right here, and then these kangaroos have come up and steal their skin. These are some pistol kangaroos.
That goes back to your psychopath headline earlier of crypto people here.
I can watch this all day.
They do look a bit psychopathic. It's like this is the one I was telling you that I thought they reminded me of the gorillas.
Like
aesthetic to it, right?
Yeah.
I got bust out a sick rap.
So Tom, okay, so you mentioned you guys are shooting for the end of September. Obviously, the ecosystems that are being released right now, they're trying to time the market here, right?
Yeah.
And with that, there's like going to be some disgruntled community members because they, win this, win that, win this, win that. So, what kind of advice or what would you say to them? The people that like maybe had a ton of conviction in track and the ecosystem early on, but feel like they're that's waning a little bit now because they're exhausted with waiting and stuff like that. What's something that you could kind of maybe encourage them up with?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of two factors, right? Like one, you might be feeling discouraged that there's no hype in the space. Two, you might be discouraged because prices are down. And it's very difficult as a trader to not feel annoyed or discouraged or lose faith in a bag if it seems like the narrative has been out of the space for a while. What I would say though is that like with track and tap, at the very least, you've got a project a group of projects, an ecosystem that is constantly building, right? There's so much development. And it is Bitcoin after all, right? Like it's not going to be going anywhere. So it's not like a meme coin where like I've got so many bloody meme coins that are down like 90% right now. That's just the way things goes. Like I'm holding them, see what happens. Some of them will recover, I'm sure. But with ecosystems like what we have, we're going to be here for the long haul. And so personally, just whatever's happening in the market right now, it always gives me a bit of comfort if everything is basically going through the same thing, right? Like you may be thinking, oh god damn it, like track is down 60% or something, right, from the all-time high. It might be a bit more or less than that. I mean, this is quick math, but yeah, look at everything else in the ecosystem. It's not like we're the only ones, right? It's everything, and a lot of them are down a lot more. So with that in mind, it's kind of just a good mental framing to be like, well, look, it's nothing wrong with the coin itself. It's just everything moves in tandem to a certain degree until they don't, right? Like, especially in dumps, right? Everything dumps together. It's only when you get the excitement come in that the projects really start to differentiate themselves. And you know, some of them will move quicker than others. Some of them might be lagging a bit. But yeah, I mean, look around. It's summer. Altcoins have been in a little bit of a bit of despair for the past 6 months, really. If you take up the crypto chart and then you look at how your emotion just goes along with that chart, and you think, well, maybe it's nothing to do with the project, actually. Maybe it's more to do with the price and the overall market. And, you know, if price starts going up, sentiment really quickly changes. And yeah, I mean, this is like more of a personal thing, but I often notice that as soon as it flips into another month, everything like just gets a blank slate, and it feels like the market is just coming with a completely fresh look at everything. Did you ever see that? You're like, August has been awful. We just need the next month. Although really, like, August has been good. Like, it's actually been good. Like, we had a dump at the beginning, right? That was pretty gnarly. But actually, mostly we've just been seeing a retracement rally. Like, today is a little bit, you know, bit sus. But it's funny how the market does that to you, because it doesn't feel like we've been pumping, does it? But it has, you know, like Bitcoin went all the way down to like, was it 48K? I think it retested 48K like very briefly. And that, I mean, everyone was just worn out, right? It's like the market has a way of doing this to you, to the point where it doesn't feel like we're back at 60K right now, or like 61, 62.
Yeah. No, I agree with you 100%. And you're absolutely right with the look around the other ecosystems and projects and stuff. If there is a current project or ecosystem that's having consistent, sustainable success right now, it's an anomaly big time right now out of everybody, right? Like, it really determines on Bitcoin and, you know, the market sentiment to trickle down everywhere. So I appreciate that. And I think that was good advice, by the way.
Thank you.
Not financial though.
No, not financial advice, just human psychology. The other thing, it seems like there has been a lot of DMT talk recently as well. So it's nice to see that there's at least some subset of the ecosystem that seems to be getting like a decent amount of traction still. So that's something worth mentioning, I think.
Yeah, I think Natcats are almost at 0.03 for the first time in months. They got they got knocked down to 0.0. Yeah, so they're moving. A lot of stuff moving, and I hope it does, because I bought like 15 of those M crowns like way back when off the marketplace, and I'm really hoping they do well. I got way too many, but they're $100 a piece. I was like, I'll grab a bunch of these things. So. Yeah.
It's the way to do it, though, because you can't always know. Like, I think some of the things that I bought earlier in the cycle still doing pretty okay. Some of them, their teams have just kind of disintegrated or moved on. It's hard to know, but like, if you're willing to just play the long game, I think sometimes I'm no expert when it comes to NFTs, so I probably just buy whatever looks pretty and see what happens.
All right, man. Let's kind of get to one of our builders here. If you guys don't know what Tap Tuesday is when Ordinal Revolution, we kind of feature the builders of Tap. We have Tom on every week, which has been absolutely amazing, man. Really appreciate you coming on every single week. No worries.
I enjoy it. It's nice to have a chat and catch up with you guys as well.
That's awesome. It's awesome having somebody from the team on that we can kind of get the updates, and you might slip up and let us know something that we're not supposed to know, and it's phenomenal. No, I'm just kidding.
I might let's kind of already, but yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But let's kind of jump into it. Where you want to go first, Yago? You're on mute, buddy.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's go to Traverse here. We haven't had him on in a while, and I'd love to hear an update. So let's welcome Musa. He is from the Traverse team, and we'll get some updates from him. How you doing, Musa?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Can you kind of go into what Traverse has been doing? You guys have been building behind the scenes. I know you're more on the BD side, business development, but that, you know, I'm sure that you have a lot of information for the community here.
Yeah, so on our end, what we've been doing is kind of on development side, we have a few things that we're working on. obviously the bigger end is the treasuries. So that for us is, to give you kind of an explanation, we have our vaults currently. They're for personal use right now. So we've got an Ethereum vault, we've got a Bitcoin vault. One of the things that we're going to be doing to going down the line is getting a multi-chain vault so that you can just kind of house all your assets in the same place. But what we also wanted to develop, and what we've been developing in the background, has been a treasury that can be used at the enterprise level, pretty much. So kind of think of a personal vault with multi-sig and with a lot of the other features that would be ideal pretty much for a project or company to be able to, like, use crypto throughout their organizations, track it, track controls of it, track the spending, etc., etc. I don't know if you guys saw, I think just recently there was a change to allow I think like crypto payments for salary in Dubai and the like. So this is like that kind of thing essentially. So a system where you would be able to, instead of, for example, having like a cold storage in your company that somebody has control over and trying to like handle the payments yourselves internally, you would essentially develop a few treasury vaults with us, and you would be able to manage not only all the so the multi-sig controls, so who gets to be a signer and stuff like that for transactions. You can organize that into your team. You can manage your payroll. You can manage you can set your pre-authorized payments. You can control people's spending limits. You can get condensed transactional information and stuff like that for across your org, across different teams. So that's what we've been developing. We were actually going to push out a walkthrough of the beta and put that up on our site. But I had talked with our chief marketing officer, and he did mention that since we already have a designer working to kind of revamp that beta to what it's going to actually look like when a user uses it, it might not be best to push out two separate videos that look different, because people can get confused on like it being two separate products and the like. So as soon as that's like, the final demo for that is up, or the final demo for that is ready, you guys are going to see like what it actually looks like, and we'll take you through functionality. We'd be happy to talk with you guys on what each feature looks like and how we enable it.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's the main thing. And then the other thing that we've been developing is, so we are building out a news tab that's going to be in the front end of our personal vaults and treasury vaults, and that's going to kind of say, let's say that you want to engage with the community, and you want to, let's say, a project that interests you, and you want to stay appraised of any airdrops that they might have, any giveaways, forms, feedback, anything of the sort that they're disseminating with their community. A lot of times those kinds of initiatives will like leave open the opportunity for malicious actors to come and use duplicate links, all that kind of stuff, to try and essentially steal funds from users who are legitimately trying to engage with that community. We noticed that was a problem months ago with OpenSea and like ownership verified discords, for example, that sometimes these projects weren't maintaining these links. They were still up as ownership verified, and hackers were essentially buying out the domain, the Discord domain, and then just putting in a bunch of malicious links, draining people. And we found like people who had drained over $250,000 in 3 months off of contracts that are legitimately named angel phishing drainer link number 6 or something like that. But it's still effective because people trust the source, right? And it's not again, it's really part of our main ethos at Traverse. It's really not the user's job. So one of the things that we wanted to do was, as an opportunity to work with partner projects that want to reach those communities, is that we would set up kind of a news tab and the like with all of our partner projects, where they could drop in all of the links and the types of announcements that they wanted to do to reach their community. And we would make sure that we verified all the links, continuously checked that there was nothing that would be leading, in any malicious direction, et cetera, et cetera. And then users could simply engage with that directly from the front end of their vault and know for a fact that there's no chance that they're going to be clicking on any dummy links. There's no chance that, any renditions of sites that they're going to go to are going to be dupes or anything like that. So that's another thing that we're pushing out, and we're just right now in the in the process of finishing that development and reaching out to projects that want to take part. They essentially just want to communicate with their users, but have their users know for a fact that nothing's going to happen to them if they miss something this time around.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you said that you guys are kind of now the focus is on a little bit of B2B here. You've already dealt with kind of the regular community and retail users.
Mhm.
So what would you say would be the main use case for like a, you know, an entity utilizing Traverse?
So let's say for example, you're somebody who's you're a company operating in the crypto space. You've got a series of employees. They're broken down into different. Let's say if with enough size, they're broken down into different departments, maybe different teams within those departments. You want to use crypto. Let's say that, for example, you get paid in crypto. It's very commonly in the space, or you take your payments in crypto. Conversions to fiat and stuff like that lose you some money right there. You want to pay your team out, and you want to pay third parties that you regularly use for services. So like, let's say you have some indexers, you have some KOLs you run referral systems with, etc., and you want to pay out your team and other teams whilst controlling people's spending, right? You don't want to just allow somebody access to like a storage with 500K worth of Bitcoin in it and just tell the team member, hey guys, remember, keep it to 20K a piece for the month. We have other expenses. You would essentially just come to us. We'd set up a treasury, and you'd be able to select every aspect of how the financials within that treasury are controlled. So you would come in, for example, and you'd have a 500K treasury, right? Say 60 members, right? And let's say a manager at the head of that team. So the manager would own the treasury vault. They'd be the one who made it, and then they'd assign, let's say, of the 6 potential signers in their team, they just do a minimum 4 of 6, and they would, let's say that treasury for, let's say, the marketing team is going to keep getting topped up like 150 to 200K a month. You want to be able to give each of those 6 team members access to about 20 grand a month, but you still obviously want to make sure any transactions are checked, signed by multiple parties, so that you don't have anything malicious going through. You would essentially set it up with those people as signers, and you'd be able to not only control their spending, but also kind of track it and manage all your pre-authorized payments in the same place. So let's say, for example, you not only have those 6 team members that are going to go out and spend money in the course of their affairs doing their job. You also have some payments that you need to take care of consistently each month. You can set up those pre-authorized payments. So if you're paying KOLs, set it up in advance, even if you don't have the asset inside of your vault. So let's say you have payments in, a set of different currencies and stuff like that you have to cover. You have some payments in Bitcoin, some payments in ETH, some in USDT, etc. You wouldn't necessarily even need to hold that in your vault. We can set up your pre-authorized payment and set up a function for it to swap, given obviously with your approval, swap at the time of the payment automatically. So essentially think about it like as a payroll and expense management system with permissions on spending, but for crypto organizations. So no need for you to convert back and forth between crypto and fiat. No need for you to track anything internally on your spending and stuff like that. You can do it and get all of the information that you need, all of the expense management reports, all that type of stuff directly from your vault. So not only does it handle your secure storage, and it has everything that a personal vault would have for a security perspective. By the time the treasuries comes out, this will also be in personal vaults, but by the time the treasuries comes out, they'll also have passkeys integrated, but they also have a multi-sig. So it handles your security, but it also gives you all the other aspects that allow you to disseminate and use that crypto internally in your firm as though you were running pretty much a standard, expense management and payroll system.
Payroll services. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And it's interesting because I mean, I haven't heard of any services in the space that do that. I'm sure there are, but to me, I think this is a sign of like we are moving forward as like a space, like an industry. You know, Dubai first announced it, and you guys are already kind of working on it in the background. So I think this is awesome. I don't know. What do you think, Shizzy?
Yeah, I think you guys are building something special, man. The updates this today are, you know, miles from where they used to be. You guys are really killing it, man. Took a step up, definitely. So what's next for you guys? Like, what's the first step?
Well, I mean, like, so one of the things that we want to do in our development, so we're working to, you know, close out a funding round on our side to, you know, complete a lot of this development. But for us, there's going to be a series of different milestones, right? So the first is probably going to be integrating passkeys, right, and trying to get that multi-chain vault for your personal users, right? Just because we're angling ourselves to also take care of the B2B side of things, because it's, you know, as you've kind of said, it's time for this industry to mature, and part of that maturity is going to be to also kind of change how things look. So, you know, it's been a pretty much secure wallet type of industry for a long time. That's where people have had to depend a lot. We're going to try to change that. We think the next stage is going to be wallets paired with vaults, and vaults handling the security, wallets handling the kind of access and functionality that you want. And if you look at it logically, it just makes a lot more sense based on how that tech is developed. But for next steps, so it will be a multi-chain vault for users, so you don't have to separate your Ethereum and your Bitcoin into separate vaults. That's just use case. It's better for everybody. It's just a more mature solution. The next would be passkeys integration, and I think probably when we have the multi-chain and the passkeys, we're gonna run the Hack Me challenge back for the third and last iteration. 50K, probably something in that region this time around. Slap it in, and again, it's the same. It's the same thing that we've said each time. You can come on here, you can hear whatever I have to say, all this kind of stuff. That's all fun, well and good. We'll put money up in the vault and publish that private key. If you can take it off us, you're welcome to have it, right? You've earned it as far as we're concerned, and we failed to do our job. So that's what the Hack Me 3 was going to be. Probably passkeys in a multi-chain vault, 50K in, and, you know, again, you have maybe, 2 months with a private key published to come and take our money. And then after that is going to be the launch of the treasuries, right? And we're going to be, obviously, in this period where we're developing them, we're working with companies that can provide services inside those treasuries and inside our personal vaults that just make sense for users. So we've already locked down a partner for our swapping functionality, but we're still looking at tons of other services that can be valuable here, because obviously this product is going to go through iterations, right? And we really look at those partner companies as how we improve our service. So for us, it's got to be a 3-win system, right? If it's a win for us, if it's a win for the partner, and a win for the user, we're taking it. So, like, for example, even AI readers on contracts that translate them and make them easier for a layperson to understand, you know, to improve the security on the multiple signers inside an organization. We see that as incredibly valuable, right? So we're going to work with somebody to get that integrated. Staking functionalities, loaning, borrowing functionalities, you know, anything that would drive further value to a user that we think that we could provide securely from our vaults. We're going to be pushing that out. And then obviously long term, I mean, this is something we're still blueprinting a lot of, but we see there's definitely a path to getting it done, and we think getting it done way better and more securely than has been done in the market thus far is carding, because we think that there's obviously a common sense value case for, you know, having storage and the ability to pay in the real world with your crypto holdings, and that's going to be, you know, doing that connection in a way that people are able to trust the storage and want to actually keep their assets with a company that does provide that carding infrastructure. That's really been the challenge in the space. It's not that the idea is bad, right? Everybody, if they had $1 million in crypto, would want to be able to spend that $1 million however the hell they want. The problem is that historically, it's been very, very hard for people who have $1 million in crypto to be able to trust, you know, certain storage capacities, and the fact that they won't get compromised. Like, for example, with our solution, the fact that it's not possible for you to be compromised, like off of a phishing link, because it doesn't have that type of two-way connection with the vault. that would matter a lot to users like that, who know that they wouldn't essentially stumble into services and risk all of their assets. So once we provide that secure infrastructure for companies and users to store their assets, we see the logical next step as providing them the infrastructure to spend that in any way they want, right? So carding would be the logical next step, and we would want to work with crypto card companies, on a collaborative front to try and bring that to as many users as humanly possible, right? As many, we want to do obviously as many chains that we can for our solution, but we'd also want to do as many fiat currencies as humanly possible, right? Give people total access. That's what they've been wanting for, the better part of now over a decade, and so far we've yet to be able to provide them what they want. So this we see that as the next step, and how they're going to actually get that functionality.
Awesome. Like, amazing. Good shit, dude. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Tom, what do you think about that? Kind of like this is a unique project.
Very unique, and it's very refreshing to hear someone that has a clear roadmap and use case, right? Like they've got a clear direction that they're going down towards, especially towards the business to business side of thing. And like, it's been a big problem in crypto for a long time of being able to have decent self-custody solutions that not only work for an individual, but also for businesses that they can't afford to lose those funds, right? Like this is the whole, like even like going back to the Bitcoin ETF and all this kind of stuff. Like if you're a big player and you want to buy a lot of, you're handling a lot of money, you cannot afford to lose that money. Like if I'm just messing around being a DGM with shitcoins, it's not a big deal if I mess up and I lose $100, right? Like I'm not, it's not the end of the world. But if you're playing with, the big funds, like a lot of these businesses are, you absolutely cannot afford to make a mistake. And I think what Traverse is doing there, what they're set forward in their plan is, kind of it's clearly a robust solution, and it makes a lot of logical sense, as he said, because you want to cater to anything that they would potentially want to do in the platform, without giving yourself too much work. But I think taking that, being able to automate payrolling, it seems like a logical next step. And I think we're in a unique situation where a lot of this stuff is now being able to be done multi-chain, and that includes Bitcoin. Whereas in the past, if someone says it's going to be done multi-chain, it kind of just meant it's on the smart chains, right? So, having that integration as well is a really big step. And I look forward to seeing how it all develops. It sounds very good, very bullish.
Amen.
Appreciate it. I was happy to hear it. And honestly, if there's anything that I can leave it on, it would be to say that up until this point, we've kind of been in the first stage of security in the crypto space, which has been to bolster wallets as best as we can. And that makes sense, right? When the space was initially emerging, that was the only option. And so what happens in any space is that you'll have a typical way in which things are done. And then for a period of time, instead of people trying to reimagine that way, you're going to have people just trying to strengthen each of those components. And, you can make a very easy, very fundable business, very standardized playbook for any investor you come in with to just, say I'm doing a wallet security, but better, or I'm doing, this functionality, but better. At some point, somebody has to acknowledge the fact that this isn't working, and somebody's got to push us to the next stage of security in crypto. And what that is to understand that the structure of a wallet doesn't work for security optimally, and to pair it with another product that handles that security much better than a wallet ever could. And we want to be that company to push us to the second stage. But no, we really appreciate the bullishness, and that's kind of our approach. That's our mission.
There's one other thing that I thought was a really good point that you made. It kind of reminds me of what happens a lot in the Web 2 space as well. Like when you have sites which, for want of a better term, have kind of been orphaned, right? Like let's say that you put in your login details and your password back in a site that you was on, like let's say it was Border Terriers Monthly or something, right? And then at some point it gets...
Are you subscribed to that?
No, I'm not. But anyway, so just some site, and it gets hacked because it's not maintaining like proper levels of like modern security. it gets taken over by some hacker. The passwords all get drained, and then it's a big problem for a bunch of people that like they just wanted to learn about dogs, and now their bank details are getting stolen. And the same thing happens with like NFT projects and stuff. Like you may have been in an NFT project that you was part of Discord like 3 years ago, and you totally forgotten about it. And then some hacker's taken over it because it had like 20,000 people in it, but it's not the same people. And you just get a message from them, and you're being like, "Oh, just we've got a new function, blah blah blah, whatever." And then as you say, it's like secret drainer number 9 or whatever has actually just come in and stolen all your money. Yeah, it obviously it happens all the time everywhere, not even just in crypto. But I think that you're right in a sense that it's not up to the user to sniff out every single scam, because they're everywhere, right? Like there's so many different angles of attack. Obviously, you should keep your senses about you and not do anything too idiotic, but like everyone has a blind spot, right? So I think providing a solution that makes those kind of attacks a thing of the past, hopefully, that's another good use case.
Yeah, and I mean that's a really good point there, Tom. And this is another unique project that's in the Tap ecosystem. But Musa, we appreciate you sharing with us. Any last words for the community and audience?
Honestly, no. Just keep an eye out. Right.
We're
gonna be
sorry. One question from the audience for you. Mr. Sheedy says, Musa, a few days ago there was a problem with seeing assets in the vault. Has this been resolved?
Oh yeah, so I think we were made aware of this pretty quickly. Thankfully, people reach out to us pretty fast if there's anything going on, so we appreciate that. There was, from what I understand, talking with Kareem, there was a small indexer issue. It's not a major problem in any way. I think it was just that for some reason the indexer was timing out, and he's looking for a fix. I will, if to give you the most 100% answer I can give you, let me double back with Kareem, and I'll obviously inform both of you guys as to what the status is, because I don't want to tell somebody it's fixed and we run back into the same problem, right? So I'll get back to you within the next 2 hours or so on it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I was actually working with another community member of ours that had this issue, and Mr. Sheedy, I'll say the best thing to do is go to Genie Data, paste in the vault address, and then you'll be able to see all your assets in Genie Data that they're there, right? So that's the most important thing. I do know that there was a UX issue or UI issue, and some of that has been resolved, but we'll wait for Musa's follow-up as well. So
for sure.
Awesome. All right, Musa, well, we appreciate you, sir, and we will talk soon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys for having me. Have a wonderful time.
No problem.
You're welcome every Tuesday, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. So let's bring up our next guest here. It's going to be the Tap Wallet guys, Tap Wallet and Explorer. They are constantly just building, and they've expanded, it looks like, here. So let's bring them up to the stage. How are you guys doing? Oh, you're on mute, sir.
Hi, all good?
Hey, buddy.
Again.
How are you?
I'm good. Can bring up here Abdul. I don't know if he was here before, but then he got to get a call, but I'm not sure if he's back. If he's still here.
I don't see him.
He's not here now.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Maybe he'll be back later. So yeah, we have some news from the Tap Wallet. Actually, now we have rebranded to Universe, as we plan to integrate not just Tap. Tap was, and is currently our main product, but we want to integrate every protocol and every project that is working on Bitcoin, at least the major ones, and make some kind of standardization. Just like ERC20s, our plan is to achieve like a BRC20, but a real BRC20 that integrates like all Bitcoin protocols together, at least at some standards. Some have smart contracts, others not, but there's something in common that they all have. It's the transfers of they are done either by UTXO spendings or by inscriptions themselves, either tapping or not tapping. So we're trying to achieve between every protocol like a common standard. I don't know if that will be possible, but it's something we are working with, and we'll see if it works or not in the future. And we are waiting for the release from Benny, from the final code from liquidity pools, and we are eager to implement it. I think it's going to be a game changer for the Tap protocol. Once we get the liquidity pools, like the swaps and everything, it will be much easier to implement, and that will make a lot of difference.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
In the final stages of go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead with your last update.
In the final stages of about the about the on-chain messenger. Yeah, we are on the final stages of implementing this messenger that will be something that was never achieved in the other side chains like Ethereum. There was the bank. It was like a try to make like ERC20 more associable, but nobody was using it. I don't see anybody texting each other, to communicate. So I think we'll be the first to implement this on Bitcoin. And I hope the CIA doesn't come after us, because it's something that's anonymous and everybody can use it.
Well, they just probably flagged this video because you said that.
I hope they are not monitoring this chat, by the way. But yeah, it's anonymous. Everyone with a name can connect and talk with anybody else. And it's everybody's made from wallet address to other wallet address via chat message system. So going to be something groundbreaking. I don't know the exact word for it, but well, moving forwards. On the marketplace, we have got a lot of increase of the traffic widgets on the marketplace, a lot of new listings, a lot of new traffic. If you see I just put you over here on the background. I think I can do it here. It's here. That's our evolution of our website traffic in the past few months. We go from just a couple of visitors in March 2024, and then we increased like literally thousands of them. Like just from July to August, there's like a huge jump, and the traffic is increasing like parabolically, and it's good. It seems that people are using like our services not just for the marketplace, but for exploring TP, to check the tokens, to check their balances, to check the holders per token, all this stuff that you can check it from our website. And it's good. It's very motivating for us to see that people are actually using it.
Gotcha. What is the most recent chart? Is it the yellow one? The blue?
Recent, it's the ones on the left. It's the visitors. The others is the red. The red one is the bandwidth. That's going from July to August. The bandwidth just like did the 4x or something. It's going crazy. And if you also Google from Tap Wallet or Tap Marketplace, it comes. If I'm not wrong, it comes like in the first or second search engine result as well. So it's good. It seems that people are using it, people trust us, and people are looking for CP and for what we have to offer as well. What else? Yeah, we also are promoting these matches of Bitcoin in pink. I don't know if you have noticed it. We see like Bitcoin orange as a traditional Bitcoin, like the old Bitcoiners that use Bitcoin just for sending and receiving money. Yeah, exactly, as a store of value. And the pink is like the representation of decentralization of Bitcoin and all that moving ordinals are now building it. All the things that are being built, DeFi, all these other things represent this new Bitcoin 2.0. That's what we are kind of trying to represent. It was the original color from TAP, and the TAP started all these decentralized projects. So I think it's a good representation of the future of Bitcoin that we are trying all to build up. What else? Last but not least, as you know, we are now integration stamps, ERC20s. They have a great and vibrant community as well. And it's a new technology that we really appreciate. We didn't know about stamps, anything about in the beginning. We had no zero about stamps. But once people talked to us about it, we started to study it, counterparty and everything. And it's really amazing. And maybe we can do some kind of synergy between stamps and the TP in the future, because the two
Wait,
are.
so
are
you just said stamps, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I want all the audience that is listening that Ordinal Revolution is talking about stamps. Go tell all the stamps people, because they have complained to us back in the day. It was every day for like the summer. No, but that's awesome that you guys kind of have expanded into their ecosystem as well. So
it's completely different. It has nothing to do with TP. It's a completely different product. It's a non-competing product. At a certain points, and the technology is different. Everything is different. It's account based still. Soon it will be able to people will be able to attach to UTXOs, tokens, and assets, and the atomic swaps will be possible with a counterparty 10.4 upgrade. Stuff like that is going to be very, very interesting, and we'll try to create synergies between TAP and stamps as well. And I think as our main goal is to standardize all Bitcoin protocols and put them work together, in the best way possible to achieve the best for each one and to create the best synergies between protocols and tokens and everything else. We're also partnering with lunch banks for promotion. We're offering some prizes for integrating on their prize list and for marketing as well. That's our latest achievements. And we are also working with. We are not working yet. We are still waiting to integrate Lambda as well in parallel with stamps. It's not confirmed yet because we are still aligning some things with them in the contract, but hopefully everything will go all right and we'll be able to, at least during the next 2-3 months, we'll be working exclusive on this and the liquidity pools from Benny, of course, once they come live. And that's it will be our main focus during the next couple of months. Yeah, that's all for us.
It seems like you guys can't sit on your hands and not do anything. like you have to constantly be working, which is a good thing because you guys are constantly building. But you're definitely expanding, which is good because you're going to be knowledgeable in multiple different ecosystems. And like you said, you guys are kind of waiting for the liquidity pools for the TAP ecosystem, and I think that's going to be really, really cool. So
yeah, we keep waiting and we keep building. Otherwise we get bored. And I'm not really a fan of beach and summer sand. I prefer to stay at home. Sometimes go party, during the weekends, but then go back home again and work. So that's where I spend most of the time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well. It looks like Abdul just jumped on. Let's bring him up.
If you can bring him in for some words, I guess it's the
Hey, Abdul, how are you?
Pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Very good.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Well.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
You're late.
Just a bit, just a bit late. Apologies. It's always good to see you guys. Tap Tuesday, as strong as ever. Tom, Alpha, very interesting stuff there. And I'm looking forward to seeing the ecosystem continue to grow.
Yeah. We were just talking to Tap Wallet and Explorer, and he gave us a big lowdown on, just the expansion. Obviously, the main focus is Tap, and it will always be Tap, is what he's saying. But exploring out to trying to bring cohesion as much as possible from all these other ecosystems. What's your perspective on that?
There's so much fragmentation. There's so many protocols out there, whether it's Fractal Bitcoin, whether it's Lambda, whether it's stamps, so many different devs building all the time. And I think Tap Wallet is really leading the way when it comes to supporting these ecosystems assets, because the number one thing that's really needed by any new protocol is infrastructure support. People like Fractal Bitcoin already have that through Unisat. Other protocols don't necessarily have that as well. And they often go down the path of building their own infrastructure out. So that's essentially why Tap Wallet is here. That's the reason behind some of the recent rebranding we've seen from Tap Wallet, going from the name Tap Wallet to Universe as well. So that's the direction that the Tap Wallet team is taking, or the Universe team right now.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got most of the updates. He updated us on the expansion, also, working with stamps, counterparty, that kind of thing. Is there anything, Abdul, that you wanted to kind of last words or anything that you wanted to talk about with Tap Wallet?
Yeah, we can say that we are going to be supporting other protocols as well, other than stamps. I'm not sure if we want to name them right now, but there is also a partnership coming up with the launch funds, and that's going to be primarily, as of this moment, the promotional side of things. So you can expect Tap Wallet to be featured there, and possibly down the line even further support from the launch funds team.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think, making sure that you guys kind of have your anchor in the Tap ecosystem is really cool, because you're going out exploring, trying to learn as much as possible, but also keeping your anchor here, which is awesome. And teaming up with Launchpunks is an example of that. So we appreciate both of you guys being up here, explaining to the community what you guys are working on, what to look forward to, and we appreciate your time and look forward to having you guys on again.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for the opportunity. It was, as always, a great Tap Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.
All right. Talk soon.
Talk soon.
All right, man. So amazing updates from Traverse, amazing updates from Tap Wallet, and so it's been pretty great so far. And then I can't wait to get into Foxy. But Tom, what do you think about the updates? Being a Tap guy and talk about stamps and stuff like that. I'm just kidding.
No, I think obviously a super sensible approach. I think if you're able to bring in other communities into your platform, it's good for everyone, because I don't know anything about stamps, literally nothing. So it's helpful if you're a guy like me. Let's just assume that I'm not on the Tap team for a second, but I see this other project and I'm like, hey, there's some things are doing super good over there. Having it all on the same marketplace and having access to those things, even if it's like you might be like, oh, there's only one coin I want to buy, but still it's there, right? It's it's obviously a very sensible thing to do, and I think he's right. There is a lot of like fractionation in the communities. And I'm hoping that, once, as you said, once the liquidity pool's alive, it may incentivize some other communities and other protocols to maybe start looking at collaboration with Tap as well, I would have thought, because if there's somewhere on chain where they can have layer one liquidity and then somehow bring it in, work that into their projects and protocols, that could potentially be a nice area where we can collaborate. And then people, like Universe Wallet now, the Tap Wallet, people like that have got a lot of obviously super disciplined and hardworking, but trying to bring their expertise into multiple separate Bitcoin ecosystems that's potentially going to be a really helpful thing, right? Because we can't expect people in the Tap space to necessarily know everything about how other ecosystems work. I mean, I certainly don't. And having someone there that you can actually ask these questions to and point out, where collaborations are most effective and things like that, it's obviously going to be a total boon for us as well. And I don't think we necessarily need to be tribal about these guys are rudes or these guys are stamps, or it's at the end of the day, we're all here building and we're trying to do our best, and sometimes collaboration between different protocols is beneficial to both of them. So it is what it is, right? I think that they've made a wise decision to branch out into other areas as well.
Yeah. Couldn't said it any better. I think that's perfect. All right, well, let's get our last and final, but not least for sure, guest up, Foxy. Let's bring him up to the stage here. Aaron and Wade, how are y'all doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello guys.
Well. Decent.
Oh man, that's great.
Yep. So what's been going on? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say today we announced the official partnership with Foxy, Ordinal Revolution and Foxy. So we're so glad to have you guys on board, man. It's gonna be a fun ride. We're coming on as advisors. Gonna make tutorials for you guys. We're gonna really kind of do some nice collaboration. I think it's perfect fit for us, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
Man, thank you. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to it as well.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so I'm super excited to try the next beta version. I've been like thinking about it every day since I like was able to take out 15 people in a row when I found my sweet spot the last time. So
your noob spot of hiding in the corner.
It wasn't camping, was ya?
Hey, getting the job done is all that matters, and that's what I did. So let's talk about like when I can do that again and be the highest points earner on the beta. When is the next availability to try that out again?
Wade?
So it will be available in a couple of days. Like we are planning for August 29th. If everything goes smooth. Yeah. It's going to be clan.
Hey guys, I'm on his ass. Trust me. Every day I'm calling like every 2-3 hours. Come on, let's go. Where's the game? I'm like a junkie. I'm like a junkie shaking. I want my game.
That's awesome, man. That's a quick turnaround, to get the updates you want. You said that it's going to be the clan version?
Yeah, it's going to be clan wars. Like you can select Ordinal Revolution, and there will be opponents from block runners or tap.
Let's go. All right, guys. All right, so applications are about to be open on our Discord. So if you want to be a part of the Ordinal Revolution clan, get ready to apply. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we're probably start together our team soon, don't you think, Shizzy?
Well, we have a room in the Foxy Discord. We got to start going in there more often and start seeing who's in there and who's ready to rock with us, right? So,
yeah, guys,
believe me, you're gonna want to rock with us because we got some alpha for y'all in the next members video. So, anyways,
apparently you got the best sniper in the ecosystem.
Oh, what? I don't know. Wow. So I guess our alpha is just like everybody could just tell, right? But when it comes to their alpha, no, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But so this is awesome. This is gonna be exciting. I love it. It's gonna be a opportunity for camaraderie, I think, in our ecosystem. It's going to be OGs, really branded OGs that are going to have their own teams and clans, whatever you want to call them. What's some things that the community can get excited about with this new beta version?
So it's going to be mainly the clan wars, and there will be a leader also. Like the clan leaders, like on our Discord, there is a leader role that you can go and claim. I think Yagobi already claimed that. On the clan.
Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. So that's cool. So this is going to be more competition, feel like, versus what we experienced before when we were playing, right?
Yeah, the environment will be same, but there will be some changes and fixes.
Yeah, will there be like points for teams so we can feel more competitive, or is that going to come later?
Yeah, there will be points.
You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see live, as you kill someone, your points going up, etc.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. But not your points, but the team's points,
Yeah, that's awesome because I think that's what's going to make things more competitive, right? In working together as teams and having strategies and stuff like that. So that's going to be really, really fun for sure.
Yeah.
Anything?
Will be timer
go ahead.
Also.
A timer? Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for example, we're not gonna leave it for 2 or 3 days. The clan wars is just gonna be a certain amount of time, and then the game will just progress normally.
Gotcha. What about the bit miner? Because that's been a big part of the timeline that I see relating to Foxy. So, someone in our chat was asking what the difference is between a bit miner and RSIC, which I thought was kind of an odd question, but I maybe kind of understand where they're coming from a little bit because it's like mining something with RSIC. Could you kind of just go into detail what Bitminer is?
So Bitminer is like a DMT. It's a DMT application. So users can utilize the Bitminer on our metaverse, like deploy it on top of a bitmap on our Bitverse, and then start mining. The block data. We interpret that block data into different resources. It can be accessories or skins, or can be tokens too. And we have other partnered projects that allocated some of their tokens, especially from tap protocol. So that will also be airdropped to the holders. It is like that. It is different than RSIC. I think RSIC is dead. and I think they renamed it to FSIC now.
so yeah, RSIC was definitely different. It was more of a theory of mining these runes coins and
Yeah,
stuff
this is
like that.
different. This
Yeah.
is
So,
ASIC was a collection, and this is like an application. Bitminer itself is a project.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So like if I'm mining on my bitmap world with a Bitminer, it's going to mine. Am I going to be able to set the settings for this Bitminer to mine specific data points, or
So,
how does that work?
so on the game, it will automatically read your bitmap number, and we have the details of the transaction in your bitmap. Like if you are holding one dot bitmap, we fetch the details on that bitmap, and then
And
we on the game calculates it with the bitminer you are holding. The bitminer also has some rarities. It's a
yeah,
little complex part.
there are levels of the Bitminer itself, like rarities, and the higher it is, the more it produces. And one more thing, you don't have to have a bitmap to actually mine as well. So, but if you do, you get you get to mine that specific
bitmap. But
bitmap,
okay,
exactly.
like, can you explain, if I don't have a bitmap, how I can mine? Will I have to claim another bitmap and then no one else can mine on that bitmap, or can you explain that?
So if you don't have a bitmap, then we have a bunch of bitmap that allocated for like Foxy headquarters. So you will be mining from that, and also uh, the calculation is done based on the current block that's happening.
Yeah, so we have a website as well that you'll be able to analyze everything. You'll be able to see everything visually of what's going on.
Awesome.
And
Good
you can go
stuff,
on the
man.
game as well and activate your Bitminer once per day.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
there is also an interface. I think you guys have seen that on our last beta testing. There is an interface when you reach the bitminer. It will show the different
Yeah.
datas. Yeah.
So let's say that I don't have a bitmap, but Shizzy has one, and can I just mine from his bitmap without his approval, or does he have to give me
No,
approval?
no. If Shizzy has a bitmap, then only Shizzy can deploy
Yeah.
bitminer onto his bitmap. He won't be able to
Gotcha.
do that.
So if I don't have a bitmap, I can use one of the Foxy headquarters allocated ones. So
Yes,
you guys
yes.
are, y'all are doing that for the community. That's cool. That's really cool.
Here's just an example right here. If you can see my screen, I'm running to the Bitminer right now.
But so what benefits would it be if I own a bitmap and have a Bitminer versus me just doing the Foxy HQ bitmaps?
If you have bitmap, you will be mining more resources.
So you have to
Mm,
split it if you do it with the HQ.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
interesting.
Last.
And if you have
Sorry.
single
These.
single transaction bitmaps, you will be getting more multiplier.
Gotcha. Okay, because of the rarity of the bitmap too. Okay, so this right here, Mr. Shidi says, can the same bitmap be mined twice? Like if he sold it, can someone else mine from it as well, or is it kind of like off the market after someone mines from it?
So if you sold, if the bitmap is not in your wallet, same with the bitminer, you won't be able to use that in our game.
Yeah. But what if like he mines it and then he gets out and he sells his bitmap and someone else does it? Do they get a fresh restart with that bitmap?
So they will get a fresh restart, but there will be difficulty that's going to be adjusted with the current block.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So
I think
basically,
it's like, is it more helpful to think of the bitmap? Is it's almost like a catalyst in the equation. It's just allowing you to mine more resources rather than the bitmap itself can somehow get mined out, right? It's just whoever currently owns the bitmap can mine from it.
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
kind of what. Yeah.
yeah, it's something like that. But
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go on.
I was gonna say that like what he was just said, I believe, is that like the original owner can mine the bitmap itself for the actual metrics that are for that bitmap, but if he sells that, someone else gets it, and then they want to mine from that bitmap, they won't get that original bitmap's numbers metrics. They'll get the newest, latest block. So it's kind of like that's how they will kind of be able to reuse them. So the earlier blocks have more value, right? Did I say that correct, Wade?
Yeah, it's all, the mining is all linked to the current block also. Like the equations and the multipliers, we did the algorithm like that. It is a complex structure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
I think we need a
And
tutorial video.
Yeah, I actually have one.
Yeah, there is actually
We
an
might need
example of
another
the
one.
calculation with
Nice.
bitmap and without bitmap. You can see that.
Yeah,
Yep.
and just so you guys know, it's going to be on Inscribe on the 5th.
Okay, so the launch is, the mint is on September 5th on Inscribe. Whitelist opportunities, or is there any way you can talk about that kind of stuff?
So there will be guaranteed phase, FCFS phase, and also for our OG holders, we are currently doing the pre-sale. Like they have some benefits, and they can go and claim on September 5 early before the mint.
Awesome. That's going to be, I have a feeling that's going to be a really successful mint. I think there's a lot of people like really, really hyped up for this. I'm excited for it. I'll be minting for sure. So anything else with the game or that you guys are building in general? I know you have a social media platform as well. Is there anything else that you guys can speak about for upcoming for Foxy?
Yeah, for sure. The second part, you guys got to understand this. What you see right here, this is the player versus player aspect of the game. We're going to begin developing. Actually, we've already begun developing, but we're going to start focusing more on the creative part of the game. So some of these resources that you mine on the Bitminer, you're actually going to be able to use it to create your own city, for example, your own little building, etc., inside your game. So there's going to be there are basically two versions to the game. So if you have a bitmap, you'll connect to the bitmap. It'll take you directly to your land, and that's where you can do some customizing of your own personal landscape.
That's gonna be exciting. So it's kind of like a Sims to where you can kind of build your own stuff, but you mine it, and you're like, oh, I need bricks. Oh, okay, I'm gonna mine it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Dude, this is gonna be so much fun. I can't wait. I'm gonna Sims the crap out of this, man. Let's sit there and build bricks.
You know what else we're trying to do, and I'm trying to think of how we're gonna do this, but we're gonna take this step by step, right? So this creative part right here for us is very important. Like I think the bitmap community has really reached out to us as well and spoken about this numerous times. So we're gonna definitely focusing on this customization of your world. But we're trying to add a form where, like Rust, you can actually go and destroy your building as well. Make it player versus player inside, your own customized world. We're trying to do that as well. And I'm just going to see how it's going to play out because, some people might take a long time to build something. They don't want their shit to be blown up, right? So we're still analyzing that, but that's going to come in the future.
It'd be cool because you could potentially build something, not like you can build worlds, but you can build it how, like, if you go like laser tag or something, there's a bunch of these walls, you can build stuff like that around, so you're running around like these mazes and stuff like that. So you could do a lot doing it with the Bitminer. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man, we're excited too.
Awesome. Well, Shizzy and I are gonna definitely be streaming live whenever we're playing, so that's gonna be exciting. We'll let the community know what days we select on that. We got to look at our calendar, but we definitely appreciate you two, updating the community. We're excited. I'm anticipating the next beta so I can, get some more high points. But yeah, we appreciate exactly. But we appreciate you both joining. Was there a question there, Shizzy?
No, it's just Yasha just goes, "This is a real metaverse. Great job, Foxy." And that was a really good comment. So.
Thank you guys for supporting.
Thank you.
100%, guys. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you too, and we will talk very shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right. It's just us again, Tom. What's up, buddy?
I'm a little bit disappointed that you managed to get the top score by campaign. I think there's going to be some fierce competition over your little hiding spot next time.
I mean, I literally could not get a kill unless I was like crouched down, secure. I mean, that's how I would be in real life if there was like a zombie apocalypse. I'm not gonna sit there in the open and be like, bah, 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 bah.
If it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid.
There we go.
It works.
So
if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. It works. I love it.
So, Tom, your thoughts on this Tap Tuesday? We got 423 people in here, so it did liven up a little bit later in the segment. But I felt like it showed a lot of diversity with builders in the ecosystem here. What are your final thoughts on the segment?
Well, I mean, it's the first I'd heard about a lot of these updates. So for me, it was like quite refreshing that people have still got their thinking caps on and willing to put in any effort to expand their own business models, right? I mean, it kind of speaks to, we've said this a lot already, but obviously there's a lot of projects that are really just waiting for these liquidity pools to go live, because it's going to just bring in such an influx of users and development. Because from a user point of view, seeing that you can get properly degenerate, very familiar looking DeFi actually running on Bitcoin is going to be so exciting to a lot of people, especially those that have never seen the space. And it's going to look so much more familiar, because Bitcoin space is quite daunting for anyone that is not in the Bitcoin space. I mean, the amount of people that I've told about Track in the past and be like, you should just buy Track. You should go buy it. It's only a couple of cents. Go buy it. And they'll be like, nah, I'm not going to bother. And then, it's at $6 or something. And they're all looking at me like, why didn't you make me buy it? I was like, well, I told you to buy it, but you just didn't. It's not my fault. I'm not your asset manager. You just got to be in these spaces. And it's great being early and everything, but it's gonna hit differently, right? When the crowds come in, and they all want to be using these. And there's already been I would say a ramping up of activity on the business side, and the amount that I'm and the team are getting asked to do things, and people wanting to know what they should do in terms of approaching building on Tap, because a lot of people, they just don't know. They've got no idea, because even though BRC20 was a bit of a it was a bit of a thing for a while, people were pretty bullish on it, those in the know. It wasn't a great development opportunity, because all you could do was mint your tokens or whatever, right? It was very, very limited. But now that we've got all these options on Tap, and with an infrastructure focus and good partnerships, etc., it's gonna be wicked. Once we see that, and in the meantime, I think people getting their heads down and building their products and just getting busy and learning as much as they can, because as soon as the hype comes along, and I think it's soon, not just for us, but for the whole market, right? It feels like we're on the cusp, of either doom and destruction or bull run and brilliance, right? It could, the things can go either way sometimes in crypto, but it feels like we're really on the cusp of a decision in the market. And I think once that happens, and then as developers and users and promoters of ecosystems, we often we try to be price agnostic, but as soon as people hit everyone's here shouting and screaming and bullish, and then suddenly it's a manic rush, you're going to be so happy that you did all this work when you actually had the time to think, because I'm going to be I just know that as soon as this excitement and influx comes, and we're all going to be swamped. And so we're going to be so grateful that we actually got all this work done when things are a bit quieter, during the summer.
I agree. It's gonna be crazy, because right now, one thing I noticed about all these builders we have on, and we talk to a lot of builders, not just in Tap, but all over the place, they all seem very calm and collective, right? But in about 3 to 4 months, 3 to maybe 6 months, they're gonna be very stressed out, because we all know, if you've been here multiple cycles, you got about 12 to 16 months of a bull run max, right, before we kind of see a dead spot again. Hopefully it never happens. Hopefully we go through a super cycle, and crypto is the next greatest thing, but we know it's not going to be like that, right? But it's going to be 12 to 16 months to kind of get, I hate to say it, but get as much liquidity as you possibly can, and get these protocols up and running, and get them going for new people to come in the space and really have fun with it, right? So you're going to see a lot of these builders really stressed out in about 6 months, because they're going to be pedal to the floor. We need to hire. We need to hire. But right now, everyone seems very calm. It's a nice feeling right now.
It is. It's a strange one. It does feel like you're in the eye of the hurricane to some degree. But I'm feeling. I know exactly what you mean, and I think there will be a point where the crypto space matures to the point where it's no longer as susceptible to the market forces, and potentially there's a bit more differentiation. Because like one thing that hit me as a trader when I first started trading was that if one thing is up, everything is up. If one thing is down, everything is down. There's very rarely an opportunity to make a easy swing, right, between your assets. I get that a part of that is the market doesn't want to give you an easy trade. So I get it, right? Like, and there's loads of liquidity tied between tokens. There's many reasons why everything moves together, but it really moves together, right? Even more than stocks. Like I feel like in crypto, like the major tokens, everything just goes together. And I think that in the future, that'll be less the case, as the space matures. And if you're trying to build a business as well, like in crypto, you're trying to build an actual profitable business, then maybe the fact that the market goes a bit dead for a year is not going to affect you as much, right? Like at Tap, we've got plenty of runway, we've got plenty of development, we're in it for the long haul. And it is the plan to have a profitable business in of itself, right? Like from the services that we provide. So it's, I'm hoping that all we hope for is that the bear market isn't as brutal as the last one.
Well, you got to prepare for that. You got to prepare for it, right? And I think that's what everybody's going to be trying to do. Yeah. So, but
last one was so bad. So bad.
It was pretty. I mean, I remember talking to people about it, and I was still trading the whole way down because I'm a filthy addict, and so I was like trading a lot of doing a lot of swing trades all the way down, and like there was a lot of big moves, but it did feel like knife catching. But what I would say is that in that situation, you do get a lot of volatility sometimes because everyone is shorting. So if everyone's shorting, you get short squeezes, and then you get a lot of wicks. And I love that kind of situation. As long as you're willing to hold the token, it's a good. It's actually a really nice environment as a trader because you can just sell wicks and then buy back when it's not wicking. And because you're in a bear market, that works because no one really wants to buy. They just want to short every time. And then, that causes counter market movements. So I ended up trading down the market and making... I think the market drew down like 80%. I think my portfolio drew down like 30%. Just so I outtrade the market. That's all you ever need to do, right? Because over the long term, that's going to work. And so, I mean, bear markets aren't fun, but as long as you've got a plan and you know what you're going to do, you know how much you're willing to risk. Because it's no good if you start the bull run with 10K and you make $1 million, and then by the end, like the next year, you're at like 30K. That feels a lot different from going from 10K to 30K. You're like, this is brilliant. Yeah, I'm a genius. But then if you went from 10K to $1 million and then 30K, you do not feel like a genius, even though everyone's like, oh, didn't he do well? He made money. But you've just got to protect your pride, I would say, to a certain degree.
Yep.
Yeah, man. All right, Tom, man. This was amazing Tap Tuesday. We can't wait to do it again next week.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear from you guys, and good luck with all of the rest of your podcasts for the rest of the week. I do tune in from time to time to see what's going on elsewhere in the ecosystems, and it's good updates. Thanks, guys.
All right,
thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Man, again, amazing Tap Tuesday. It's been a great week so far, dude. Monday was successful. Tap Tuesday was amazing. 425 people in here in a very boring time. A very boring time, but it's a builder's time, right? So I think it's one thing we have to understand. It's not boring. It's builders, and the building is being done so that a lot of these builders can reap the benefits of what's about to happen in the next, 6 to 12 to 16 months. I mean, I'm done putting a timeline on this damn thing, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely. These are the spaces and episodes and live streams that you want to at least like catch some of, because you're learning about up and coming builders, right? Like, Foxy's been building since early last year, right? And we've known them for so long, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, that like we've grown as a channel, and our brand, they've grown. So it's exciting to see, but I think more than anything, it's good to learn for newcomers, right? So that's why we're going to continually do Tap Tuesdays, Merlin Mondays, you know, and talk about every ecosystem that's connected to Bitcoin. And we appreciate all 425 of you guys, you know, tuning in. Without y'all, we don't have a job, and without these builders, we don't have a job. So both of you guys bringing you all together, I think, is like the perfect recipe here.
And if you're an ecosystem out there and you want us to do something Wednesday or something Thursday, no, we're very happy. We gotta wait. We're very happy with the Merlin Monday and Tap Tuesday. We're not doing a something Wednesday, something Thursday. We need those days to kind of decompress and stuff like that. So we appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. I did put out a poll today, and I just want to show that really quickly. So every day I'm doing a poll now because it's getting a lot of interactions. Today's poll was click right here. We'll end the poll, and the results should pop up. Here it is. So what is the best way to play the Fractal Bitcoin? One was buy pizza, 38%. Save your Bitcoin to mint on FB, 28%. Buy sats, 26%. Buy 46%. So everyone is saying buying pizza right now is the #1 way to play Fractal. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't know about that. Honestly, like I do think if it's somehow a governance token for the pizza swap or there has to be a correlation. If there is a direct correlation, then I would say, yeah, that's probably a good play because it's a lower market cap. So I see where they're coming from with that. But yeah.
And new record, by the way. 80 votes. First time we've had 80 votes. Yesterday was the first day we did it, so it's not hard to break a record on day 2. But yesterday we had 76 votes. Today we have 80 votes, so pretty awesome.
Yep, and you got to shout out Ernesto Gonzalez. That's my hype man that walks me out whenever I have my UFC fights. But he says he threw us a super chat. He threw us 2. He says, "Shizzy, you are not bullish enough on track." Is the first part, and the second one he says, "I agree with." Good education, the good educated man with a British accent. He's talking about Tom. He believes in track and tap, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Ernesto, man. You are definitely the reason why we do this every single day, buddy. We hope to get you financial freedom, and that is why we do this show. And we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys for watching every day, and we promise you a bull run is coming. Well, it might not be this Tuesday, but it'll be a Tuesday. I promise you. But I appreciate you guys, and go check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles over there. If you know anyone who's just getting into the space, have them check out our website, ordinalrevolution.com. We have articles dating back all the way from last September, so go check those out. And if you guys need some merch, we have some of the best merch in the business here, in Ordinal's business anyway. Click the store button tab, and that'll take you directly to our Shopify, and you're able to buy and sell. And everything on there is done by third party. We don't see your address. We don't see who it's going to. You buy it through a third party. We just put it up, make a few bucks that way. It supports the show. But we appreciate you guys if you guys check out the website, and that just means a lot to us.
Yep. And if you have a moment, please check out our partners, guys. BitPerp is a premium perpetual DEX that's going to be launching on Botonics, which is a Bitcoin layer 2. So you can trade up to 100x leverage on some of these degen runes. They're going to have a lot of options there for you guys. So just stay tuned with them. They're going to have a paper trading competition coming up too. That's going to be in the test net, but you will be able to win a pass and some other rewards there. Ordinal Hive is one of our other partners. They are building on native Bitcoin as an aggregator for marketplaces for ordinals, and as well they have scaled to Merlin chain, so you can use their platform at beta.ordinalhive.io. Go trade on Merlin chain right now. You can earn points. I have heard from a little birdie that they are going to be multiplying early onboarding users. So like the people that are utilizing right now, you're going to have multipliers for these points. Eventually they're going to cut that off. They haven't announced the actual date, but once they stop doing that, the people that do come over from these other EVM chains when everything's busy, they're going to have to catch up to you guys. So go take advantage of that. Fluid Tokens is another one of our partners that does Brune swaps on native Bitcoin. You can utilize them to do that. They use buy and sell limit orders. You can also stake with them. Eventually they announced the actual staking functionality. So I would say maybe some cats might be coming. That's a little hint, a little alpha hint there. You might be able to stake some cats and get some, maybe, I don't know, maybe some Billy. We'll see. And then you got Vrothium DEX. That's going to be, well, they've actually launched on Merlin Chain. They are a Bitcoin layer 1 digital synthetic digital asset focused DEX. And then finally but not least, Foxy. We just talked about those guys. They are building the Bitverse, guys. We're gonna be able to play with clans and be able to win. Ordinal Revolution is gonna be on top. You're gonna see it everywhere, all over the streets. No, I'm just kidding. But you want to play, guys, because it's gonna be very fun. I've played in it. Stay tuned, because we're gonna have some tutorial updates on that.
Yeah, guys, and you guys heard the updates from those guys today at Foxy. The September 5th, when you can finally get your bit miner. Very excited for that. Want to get a couple of those, and definitely the next beta will be out. It should be fun. Me and Yagobi will be streaming for that. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna get Yagobi a few times. He's not gonna know about it, but from sneaking up from behind, pretend we're friends. No, I'm just joking. It's gonna be a good time. Appreciate it, guys. And guys, we're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, Monday to Friday, and we also have videos out on Saturday and Sunday as well. We have a video coming out today. We did one with yesterday with Adam McBride. He is kind of the big guy over there on Bell's Chain. It was a great video, so check that out, guys. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.